You're with Matchday on BBC Radio Suffolk. The East Anglian derby is about to get underway north of the border ahead of kick-off. Let's join our commentary team at Carrow Road with former Ipswich captain Nick Mills alongside Brenna Woolley.
So here we go again. We're in enemy territory as Ipswich Town try to win at Carrow Road for the first time in 20 years and complete their first league double over the Canaries since 1993 when Jurassic Park was in cinemas. Take That had their first #1 and the Ford Mondeo was launched. You can keep your Masters Golf, the Grand National and Tyson Fury's latest comeback. The next 2 hours here define the sporting weekend for fans on either side of the East Anglian divide. It's boom or bust in their eyes. 3-1 at Portman Road in October when Town finally ended Norwich's 16-year hold over them. Well, it has to be said, City have come on leaps and bounds since then and are set to provide the Blues with one of their stiffest tests of the run-in. Derby debutant Philippe Clermont's been a miracle worker, turning them from serious relegation contenders into an outside bet for the playoffs. Understandably, the Belgian is absolutely adored in these parts. While their fans would love a playoff place, Town supporters want their season to end against QPR in 3 weeks' time. And win this afternoon would be another sizable step in the right direction. Mick, clearly nothing's going to be decided this afternoon whether Town win, lose or draw, but if they can pull it off, 3 points today would be a big boost for everyone connected to the club, wouldn't it?
Oh, it would be absolutely massive, and I mean massive, because there's no better game than this, to be perfectly honest. I'm thoroughly enjoying this moment without the players on the pitch. It is absolutely magnificent, and to be honest, I'm really sort of going back in time as I'm sat here, and I'm thinking to myself, I actually preferred to play here than I did at Portman Road, because I always felt I had a bit of devilment about me, you know, and I wanted to upset people, and this was a day for really and truly upsetting people. And if you can come here and do that, it means you're going away with a victory, and a victory means so much to Blue supporters. It really does. I mean, this will we've only got 3 weeks to go to the end of the season. If we can win here today, this will take us over the line, you know, feeling as good as you possibly feel, you know. I mean, this is marvellous. The scenery in this stadium is absolutely brilliant. You know, our supporters have got a little pocket over there on the far side. They've already made their presence felt, and they will compete with the Norwich supporters as well as our team will compete with the Norwich team. Great day.
It is absolutely brilliant, the atmosphere inside Carrow Road. It really is rocking. Supporters all the way around, sort of 7/8 of the ground, holding up either yellow or green cards above their head. There's like a striped effect wrapped around this ground, which must be on capacity 27,244 it holds, as the Ipswich Town players are going to cross to the far side in front of their travelling supporters. Mick alluded to there, they occupy the left-hand third as we look at that stand, the Gerald stand here at Carrow Road. Let's get to the teams then. Town will be wearing blue, white, blue when they take off their tracksuit tops. Norwich in their traditional yellow, green, yellow. 4 changes from the side that somehow found a way to beat Birmingham on Easter Monday. Dropping to the bench, Neil, Clark, McAteer and Nunez. In come Davis, back after a month missing. He served a 3-match ban for hair pulling against Leicester. Taylor, Mehmeti, back at one of his former clubs, of course, and Philogene, who scored that screamer in October. So Walton in goal. The back four of Furlong, O'Shea the captain, Greaves keeps his place, and Davis. Matusiwa is past fit after his dead leg on Monday. He plays alongside Taylor. The 3 of Johnson wide right, Mehmeti in the 10, Philogene down the left, and it's Hurst who gets the nod, although Athon is fit enough to be on the bench, which is a boost. Alongside him on the bench, Palmer, Kipre, Neil, Clark, Nunez, of course, Akpom, McAteer. A bit unfortunate McAteer drop out, and Egley, no Jens Kajuste at all. He's the travelling number 21. No changes to the Norwich side that fought back excellently to do Town a big favour on Monday lunchtime by winning 2-1 at Millwall. In goal for them is Kovacevic. The back four, it's the same back five that started at Portman Road actually. Their back four, Stacey, Darling, Cordoba and Fisher. Then you've got the 2 of Field alongside Maatsen. Maatsen's been amongst the goals recently. He's trying to score in his 4th successive game this afternoon. The captain Captain McLean plays rather unorthodox for him, wide right position. Ben Slimani is in the 10, and Ahmed, who's done well since arriving from Canadian football in January, operates down the left-hand side. Kvist Goran is their striker. Of course, there's no Josh Sargent here anymore. He's moved to the MLS after a long protracted switch. And Makama, who in his place bagged a lot of goals, he's not quite ready to return. On the bench, Grimshaw, former Town player Gibbs, Schwarter, who scored at Portman Road, Magoma, Toure, Treseni, Wright, Forson and McConville. Two teams have switched around after the coin toss here. Ipswich Town will be playing from left to right. At the moment, they're going to cross all 11 of them into their pre-match huddle, right under the gaze of the travelling support. Of course, that section's packed out. None of them able, well, not the ones that have travelled from Suffolk, unable to come by train. They've come up on the coaches or driven here this morning. Norwich City lined up in their yellow, green, yellow, defending the end off to our right-hand side in front of the Barclays stand. We've just got the referee, the 22 players and one little camera crew now down there on the playing surface. Well, Philippe Clement experienced 7 Old Firm derbies in his time with Glasgow Rangers. 1 win, 2 draws and 4 defeats. Widely seen as the biggest derby in the world, but for the next 2 hours, this is the biggest derby of the world. For anybody in yellow and green or blue, either side of the Waveney, it's all about who comes out on top between Norwich City and Ipswich Town. And this game's underway live on BBC Radio Suffolk. It's Cordoba who swings it forward early on, trying to test Town at the back. Cleared away from left back by Town. It deflects off of Matson and out on the far side for a throw to Leif Davis. And you like this team, Mick? It raised a few eyebrows. You like what Kieran's done?
Yes, I do. I just think that, first of all, Ben Johnson's in terrific form. I think we needed a little bit more strength down our right-hand side today. And Ben Johnson to give us that, and he can double up as a fullback with Darnell Furlong. I like the change. So, you know, we'll be stronger attacking-wise down the left, but very strong defensively down Norwich's best side, their left.
Furlong with a throw down this near side. The Ipswich rut here is Ahmed losing the ball to Johnson. Well done, Johnson. Infield, 10 of the ball, midway inside the Norwich half. Norwich now can break, and they are very good on the counter. The blonde-haired Matson, the number 7s, carry the ball a distance. He gives it to Ahmed. Here's a test for Ipswich Town, wide right outside the Ipswich area. Ahmed's done well. Ball to the edge of the box. Cleared away by Philogene of all people. Tracked the run of McLean. Well done, the Town number 11, but that was nice front foot football from Norwich early on.
Yeah, Matasiwa gave them the opportunity for that counter, but then we dealt with it well in the end. We got players back on the right-hand side, and then we defended the short cross into the box.
Both sides in really good form. Town unbeaten in 8, 5 wins and 3 draws since the loss at Wrexham. Norwich City, no team has gained more points than them in the Championship since the start of the year. Ahmed with a switch to the far side. Their Dashville players probably came a smidgen too late, particularly given the form that Southampton are in as the games disappear. But carry on this kind of form next season, they'll be serious contenders at this level. Here is Jacob Greaves on the edge of the Ipswich Town area, gives the ball to O'Shea. Both have scored against Norwich in the past. Greaves gliding away from Ben Slimani, and under pressure slicing the ball out far side. Anything that goes wrong for Ipswich Town at the moment has been cheered by the home crowd. You wouldn't expect anything else. There is the number 26 Field on loan from QPR. We'll know a few of the Town players because of his West Brom connections in the past. Sam Field up to halfway from Cordoba, trying to hit Slimani in the 10 early, and goes O'Shea. Good challenge won by him. And here is Fisher, who's really a right back but playing left back at the moment for the home side. McKenna and Philippe Clement gazing on from just down to our right hand side. Kieran's had a win, a draw and a defeat against Norwich in his 3 derbies so far. Of course, it was 1-0 to Norwich here the last time. Nunez with a free kick winner for the Canaries, just on the bench this afternoon for Ipswich. Greaves wins his header on halfway. Up goes Darling, shoved in the back by Hurst. He's certainly got a mistake in him, Darling. He's a footballing centre-half, and a decent centre-half at that, but he's sort of dropped a few clangers for Swansea and MK Dons in the past.
Yeah, I agree with that as well. So he's one of those players that he is good on the ball, but you have to put pressure on him.
Ahmed miscontrols the ball. Furlong, wellies at forward, chested down by Darling. Little layoff from the right foot of McLean into the path of Stacey, an experienced defender. In comes his curling cross, plucked out of the air by the man in all orange, Walton. That's a nice early touch for him inside the first 4 minutes. One of 6 players in this Town starting lineup that started the first derby of the season. Walton. Taylor tries to find Philogene. The ball breaks off of the challenge on him to Matasiwa. Matasiwa gives it straight away to Darling. Field, quick footwork from him with a little drag back. There is Stacey again, the number 3. Like I was saying, every little thing that didn't work out for Ipswich Town, how that was being cheered. Every positive from Norwich City also being cheered. Long ball forward from Darling, headed away by Furlong. It should drop down to Ahmed. He plays it off of Mehmeti. Mehmeti then hooks it high in the air as Hurst is flagged for offside in his challenge against the tall Field. Darling for Norwich City, 0-0, 4.5 minutes gone, live on BBC Radio Suffolk Sports. Town just starting this very congested little period. After this, just 6 more games to go, 3 midweeks in a row, starting with Portsmouth on Tuesday. Stacey having his shirt tugged by Davis, plays the ball off of Philogene, but it's a shirt tug that the referee, incidentally, is Anthony Backhouse. Did Towns win at Coventry back in December? Comfortably their best performance of the season. It was, wasn't it?
Yeah. So that could be an omen. Just looking at Norwich, their wide attackers play a lot more infield than most teams, which forces their number 10, Sumani, up towards the front line a lot more.
Taylor penalised for hauling McLean to the deck. Free kick to Norwich City. Another couple of games going on at the moment. Coventry versus Sheffield Wednesday and QPR Bristol City. Coventry just need 4 more points to be promoted. If they win today against Wednesday, which you would expect, they will be promoted if Middlesbrough drop points at 3 o'clock when they host Portsmouth. We're all backing Portsmouth this afternoon to spring a surprise at the Riverside. Connor Chaplin and co. Here is McLean, an international colleague of George Hurst. He'll be off to the World Cup this summer. McLean back on the ball, left-footed, puts the ball up into the Ipswich area. Walton travels for it, misses it. Luckily it's going to go out behind unless Johnson decides to clear, which he's done. Safety first. Wobbly moment that for Christian Walton.
Yeah, he didn't really know whether anybody got actually a touch as the ball went through, so he's hooked the clearance right up sort of towards the Norwich defensive half, so that's a decent clearance. But it's quite interesting, really. You know, nothing has happened. This is good for Town. You know, the longer it goes on at the start of the match in a derby where the home team don't get anything to shout about, then you know you're doing a good job.
Yeah, Town have lost their last 2 here without a win in 10 since that success back in 2006. Philogene beats McLean. No, the referee says it was a foul challenge. Again, McLean on the deck. That
was touch and go. He was dwelling on the ball. I'm not sure whether it was a free kick. If the referee hadn't have given it, we were in business.
Good player, great servant to the club, Kenny McLean, but in terms of his position, that sort of right wing area, it's a bit of a weakness for Norwich at the moment. Obviously, they do a job, but it should give Leif Davis an opportunity to attack. Matasiwa gets the ball to O'Shea with a slick pass up towards Mehmeti, caught late. Mehmeti by Field. Free kick in the centre circle for Ipswich Town.
He cut the threat out really nicely, and the ball goes to O'Shea, and his ball up to Mehmeti was absolutely superb. Because it was so spot on, it drew the bad tackle from the Norwich player.
7 minutes gone, 0-0. Hurst's gone down. Free kick for that foul by Cordoba from behind on the Ipswich Town number 9.
Well, that was good. Again, it's the same type of thing. O'Shea on the ball, a ball through the middle of the pitch up to George Hurst. We don't do that enough, and I've already seen 2 excellent passes in the last minute, so let's work it through the middle if we can.
It's not quite as near, but it's in a similar position, this free kick, from which Nunez scored for Norwich in the last derby here. Leif Davis is on this one for Ipswich Town. It's a good 36 yards from goal, left of centre. Davis over this free kick for Ipswich Town, trying to break the deadlock in the East Anglian derby. It's too far out to shoot. He's looking for a colleague, the Ipswich number 3. In he hoists it beyond the far post. Greaves nods it down. Could be dangerous. Cleared away by Ben Slimani. He's kicked an Ipswich Town player. He's gone down in the area. Town players appeal for a penalty. Now then, Norwich on the counter-attack. What's the referee doing here?
He's given it, is he?
Don't think he's quite decided what he's doing. Philippe Clement's furious, so too Kieran McKenna. Neither manager's agreeing. There's confusion over what the referee is doing here. There's an Ipswich Town player who did seem to kick a Norwich man, vice versa. Slimani, I think it was, who lashed out with his boot at an Ipswich player trying to clear the ball, missed the ball, caught the Ipswich player.
What's he doing?
Still waiting to see. We're just seeing an action replay of it here. It was Taylor was trying to get the ball away from Ben Slimani, and he caught him accidentally with his follow through while missing the ball.
Well, I don't think anything. I think
he's given the penalty.
It is, but the player who was going to volley the ball away didn't see the challenge coming from behind. And
well, if that had been given against Ipswich Town, I wouldn't have been at all happy. He's given the penalty kick. Anthony Backhouse, controversy inside the first 10 minutes of this East Anglian derby. Took a while to make up his mind. I don't think the Town fans had realised what had been given. They didn't seem to react at all.
Come on, Hursty, pace.
George Hurst has the ball in his hands.
He's changed.
He's given it to Philogene. He has missed some this season. Philogene yet to score a penalty for Ipswich Town.
Well, still want pace.
George Hurst scored against Birmingham, missed against Middlesbrough. Jayden Philogene, he's already scored in one East Anglian derby this season. That was a cracking goal, one of the best we've ever seen in this fixture. Now, after 10 minutes at Carrow Road, hands on his hips, he's got a penalty kick off to our right-hand side to make it 1-0. Forward he comes and scores!
Good boy.
Philogene drives it off to his right-hand side. The goalkeeper went the opposite direction. He cups his hands to his ears to celebrate over in the far right corner of Carrow Road. And it's Ipswich Town who lead 1-0 in the East Anglian derby.
Well, it's an excellent penalty. He sent the goalkeeper completely the wrong way. And even then, it's gone right into the corner of the net. So, had the goalkeeper have guessed right, I don't think he would have got near that one. That was a good penalty, good decision, because if there was any pressure on George Hurst whatsoever to change that, whoever instigated the change has done the right thing. Good start.
Philippe Clement's furious about the decision, still protesting. So Ben Slimani on Jack Taylor, deemed to be a foul in the Norwich City penalty area. And finally, Town awarded the penalty, and after Hurst looked set to take it, Philogene did. And he rolled it expertly into the corner of the net for his 11th goal of the season. Good start from Ipswich Town. On the far side, in slides Philogene. Out the ball goes for a Norwich City throw-in. Town up to second in the live table. Starting the day just a point behind Millwall, albeit having played 3 fewer games and with a vastly superior goal difference. For a throw-in. What did you make of the actual decision to award a penalty for that?
Well, I could see that it shouldn't have been a penalty, because I mean his eyes, the Norwich defender's eyes, were on that ball to volley it away, and Jack Taylor's come from behind him and actually sort of stretched, got the touch on the ball, which then obviously took the ball away from the intended volley, and the defenders caught Jack Taylor. But no, I don't think so. I think it's completely and utterly accidental, but it's been given. We're 1-0 in front, so no,
I agree with you. I thought it looked a terrible decision. Maybe Town getting a bit luck with decisions. Of course, Birmingham scored a perfectly good goal the other day, and the referee got it totally wrong. The ball hadn't gone out of play, so things turning around for Ipswich Town. They've had enough bad luck. We say things even up. Good play from Johnson to play the ball down the right-hand side. Mametti caught offside. Furlong was also far forward. That was a real shame, because Johnson had did well and a couple of his colleagues messed up. Still a good atmosphere. Norwich fans urging their team to react. They did equalise at Portman Road after Kipra's goal. Let's see if Town can hold on to or extend this lead. Johnson just about, no, can't manage to keep it in the end. It's out of play for a throw-in directly in front of Kieran McKenna and Martin Pert. 13 minutes on the clock. Town lead Norwich 1-0. Philogene with his first penalty of the season for Town. Does come across as a very cool customer, Jayden Philogene. Here is a throw-in for Norwich. Fisher on the halfway line gets it to Slimani. Fisher then gives the ball back to Cordoba. Hurst moves that to Cordoba. In goes Johnson from his challenge. The ball fizzes all the way back to Kovacevic.
Centre-half tried to kick Johnson then and actually kicked the underneath of Johnson's boot, so he's done himself actually.
Darling over on the far side, the Norwich right, plays the ball downfield. Greaves with a header, nodded over halfway by Taylor. Ipswich have it with the goal scorer Philogene. Philogene up towards Mehmeti and steps Cordoba. Foul by Cordoba on Mehmeti, who's lost the boot. Norwich a little bit rattled at the moment, and they've got another free kick from distance.
The referee's after Cordoba, that's for sure. He was the one the penalty was against, and that was a little bit harmless there.
Highly likely to be Davis or Philogene on this set piece. Darragh O'Shea and Ben Johnson just having a word with Davis before he steps up to take it. Just pulls up his socks. Town fans making the majority of the noise at the moment. Davis on this free kick for Ipswich Town, who lead 1-0 on BBC Radio Suffolk in the 15th minute of the derby. His blue shirt flapping around in the wind. Davis left-footed, puts it into the centre. Hurst with a header! Saved by Kovacevic. It was on target. Good leap from George Hurst.
Yeah, very good. We're good on that back post. I mean, we've got so many sort of options, and we get sort of a group of players that any one of them could peel away into a bit of space. Some of them do vacate the position and go towards the near post, but when it is aimed to the far post, we invariably get on the end of it. That was a good free kick.
Still Philippe Clement in conversation with the fourth official, Tom Neild. Corner kick to Ipswich Town, their first of the game. They've already scored from a set piece. Philogene's penalty. Davis puts this one beyond the far post, headed up by O'Shea. Philogene gets underneath that volley and puts it into the crowd.
Yeah, poor strike. He's got lots of time there. He's in a good space. He should let the ball come down a fraction lower. His volley should go on target. It would have done well to get through a body of players that were in the 6-yard box, but he should have given himself a chance by keeping it underneath the crossbar.
Here is Kovacevic taking this goal kick up to the halfway line towards McLean. McLean takes a tumble under a challenge from Boots. He's used that whistle a lot so far, this referee, in this opening 16 minutes. There it goes again. Town have never lost when he's been in charge of any of their games these last few seasons. It's a free kick this time away of Norwich City. Town have had a good spell the last few moments and scored in it as well, which is always helpful. Here is Darling, Liam Manning signing at Norwich last summer. Darling forward towards Christgoran. O'Shea goes down, the ball goes out of play for a goal kick to Christian Walton, who we've not looked in his direction for a little while now. Nunez is out at the moment warming up. That's all the noise. He's getting so much abuse and things thrown at him from Norwich supporters off to our left-hand side. The reaction to his name being read out, when I don't know if there was as many as 7,000 people in the ground about 3/4 of an hour ago, was absolutely astonishing. And now the referee stopped play because things are being thrown at him on this near side. Ivan Athon smiling at Marcelino Nunez. 2 or 3 Chilean flags, 4 or 5 of them actually amongst the Ipswich Town supporters as play gets back underway. Walton left-footed to the forehead of Darling, nodded in field by McLean. Taylor gets there ahead of Maatsen. The ball breaks down though to the Dane Maatsen. Back it goes to Cordoba. Norwich rattled at the moment. Ahmed, nice touch in field towards Ben Slimani. Ahmed gets the ball again after going to ground. Ahmed to the edge of the box, tries to play 1-2 for Chris Goran. 2 players go in for the same ball from Ipswich Town's perspective. Mehmeti's brought down, and again out comes the whistle.
Yep, that's fair enough. That was definitely a legal challenge. We just give the ball away, gave Norwich half a chance to mount an attack twice there. Just got to be careful in possession, but generally speaking, we're very, very tight, very together, and very much on top of the opposition.
Security keeping a close eye on Marcelino Nunez and the fans down to our left. McLean, good ball up to Ben Slimani. He lays it off to Fisher. Casey McAteer sent out for a run underneath us. He had an excellent game on Monday. Nice to speak to him for the first time afterwards. McLean up to Kvistgoran. In comes a challenge from Greaves. And Greaves is about to get the first yellow card of the afternoon. He's been involved a lot so far, the referee, in this game.
Yeah, he's been noticed too much, really. You know, it's a really good referee can take care of this type of game and hardly be noticed.
Well, he made a big call when he gave Ipswich Town a penalty, which Jayden Philogene put away for the only goal of the game so far. If you've missed any of this with us on BBC Radio Suffolk, Greaves on the book. Free kick to Norwich City. McLean far side. He'll be swinging it in left-footed to Walton's penalty area, off to our left. Town have got that blue wall a couple of yards outside Walton's 18-yard box, stretching right across the width of the area. McLean with this free kick towards the far stick, headed out behind, diving towards the ball was Furlong. Norwich have their first corner.
Yeah, tracked it down nicely. It was always going to be us that were going to sort of deal with the cross. The cross was delayed somewhat, but the downside on their cross, it was too powerful, too deep, too far to the far post.
Ahmed. Norwich City's first corner kick. 20 minutes gone, 1-0 Ipswich, and it comes. Headed away well by Furlong. Up rises Mehmeti. Maatsen gets underneath that hooked effort. That would have been goal of the season if he'd managed to find the target with that one. As he started off initially, back to goal. It's over the bar. Yeah,
it would have taken a lot to get that on target. I think a gentler ball just sort of onto the edge of the 6-yard box would have been the right thing, because he had a whole host of colleagues around that sort of area of the pitch from the initial corner, so no need to shoot, just get it into the danger zone.
So far so good. Ipswich Town leading Norwich 1-0. Greaves has the ball inside the Ipswich area, doesn't take any chances, lifts it high to the far side, looking for Philogene, beaten by Stacey. Down goes McLean, up springs McLean, almost in one motion, turns and faces play. McLean finds Ahmed. Ahmed loops the ball up in the air, should favour Greaves. Kvistgoran goes down, bounces in the D. Greaves has got to win it again. Kvistgoran threw himself at Greaves. It's another free kick. Kvistgoran's going to get a yellow card just for that bit of revenge on Jacob Greaves.
Worst challenge of the game for me. He couldn't get the ball in the air and he just launched himself at Jacob Greaves. Jacob Greaves goes down, but he wasn't actually hit. But it was ludicrous, the challenge on him. It really was, you know. So referee has made this game difficult for himself. He really has, you know. And I wouldn't be at all surprised if this will go on till the 90th minute.
O'Shea finds Furlong back at right back for Ipswich Town. He fires the ball down the right wing. Mehmeti goes after it. The flight of the ball and bounce favours Cordoba, but Mehmeti is still battling with him until eventually the big Panamanian comes away with the ball, gives it to Maatsen, who turns it back to the edge of his area and field. Now Darling plays it out to the right side for Stacey. Philogene's got to do some defending against the forward running right back. He got away from Philogene, but not Davis. Davis got the final touch. Clears it away down the line towards Philogene. He's held off McLean and then gone down in front of the Town fans. Looks like another free kick.
Yeah, we just got in trouble there. I don't think Leif Davis meant to have the touch of the ball. I think he was wanting to just usher that ball out for a goal kick. He took an accidental touch, so he had to turn it back in play. But fortunately, we win a free kick against Jayden Philogene.
Chubak-Pom's done something to annoy a couple of Norwich City fans down below. They're furious with something he did, or smiled at them maybe. Walton has the ball, gives it out towards Greaves behind left back, in front of the Town fans opposite. Greaves hoists the ball to the halfway line, cushioned down by Cordoba, trying to then beat Hurst to the follow-up. Hurst with Ipswich Town's other effort on goal, that header, which forced a decent save from Kovacevic, the Bosnian goalkeeper in his first season with Norwich City. Came from Sporting Lisbon in the summer. Here he is once again, playing the ball out on his second touch to Cordoba on the left corner of his area. Fisher down the line, who played here for England's under-21s in the break. Crossfield hit from a former Bromley player, picks out Stacey. His touch lets him down, and that's a throw-in on the far side to Ipswich Town.
Yeah, I think Fisher should have gone to stage 1 before he tried to get the ball to stage 2 there. Just, go through a colleague to get the ball over the other side of the pitch. He tries the clever one and it comes unstuck.
Williams currently smiling at some Norwich fans behind Kieran McKenna's dugout. They're not smiling back. Taylor can't keep the ball in from Greaves. It's out for a throw to Norwich. Hasn't been a great deal of flow about this game so far. We're past the midway point of the first half. Town lead 1-0 though. Village in with a penalty, a controversially given penalty for a foul by Ben Slimani on Taylor inside the box off to our right hand side as Kieran McKenna just checks his watch. John Lyle will ask Ipswich Town manager to double Norwich City. The ball is back with Kovacevic as the away fans shout 1-0 to the Tractor Boys. Canaries in possession at the moment though. Cordoba into the path of Fisher, flowing freely down this near side, the Norwich left, held up by Mehmeti, goes inside looking for Quistgoran. Typical interception from Matusiwa. The clearance from Furlong's chested down by Cordoba. Cordoba to Ben Slimani, good challenge from O'Shea. Comes out to Fisher on the left-hand side, running at the Town back line, right-footed cross into the middle, very right-footed Fisher. We could see from the way he crossed that ball in there. He had to open up his body to get it in rather than naturally play it with his left. Here he is again, Fisher. Ahmed down the line. Had only played in Canada before this move, Ali Ahmed. Norwich passing it around inside the Ipswich Town half, looking for an equaliser. On the right wing, far side, Stacey. Back the ball goes to the centre, and Cordoba. Here he is once again, the centre half, who's been a mainstay of this Norwich City backline this season. He's playing with McConville until the Irishman got injured of late. That's why Darling came in, has kept his place. Ahmed saw the run of McLean, but the ball was always going to go through to Walton instead.
Well, fortunately, I haven't really seen any cleverness from this Norwich City team. Their results have been fantastic. Their movement up the table has been brilliant, but on the evidence of this, nothing really to worry about.
Cordoba gets the better of Hurst. Hurst was late on Cordoba. Philip Clement's gone straight to the fourth official. Hurst gone down as well. You can imagine what the home fans want. You can hear it off. He's been very active, Philip Clement, in this first 25 and a half minutes. Not sure how much of that the referee saw. It has to be said. It kind of happened after the ball had gone. Cordoba stayed down. What's the referee going to do here? He wants a word with George Hurst. Yellow card. Joins Greaves and Quistgoran in the book.
Interesting. It's definitely happened off the ball. I've missed it. I've followed the ball, followed the progression. I think the referee could have done the same and didn't really see what happened, because George Hurst was really complaining about something.
Has been an away win in the last 6 meetings between these two sides. And before that goal from Philogene, believe it or not, Luke Chambers was the last Ipswich Town player to score here in that game that so painfully ended 1-1 with Tim Close's heartbreaking equaliser back in February 2018. George now protesting his innocence to the fourth official, who's also been a really busy man. George has got a bloodied left knee, which is requiring a little bit of treatment. So Town momentarily down to 10 men, but they do lead 1-0 live on BBC Radio Suffolk. Philogene has now scored in both derbies this season. Here is Cordoba, ball into the centre, flick header on from Quistgoran, will be picked up by Stacey, wide right outside the Ipswich area. First time high ball into the box, nodded down by Quistgoran, but easy for Walton.
Yeah, I thought that sort of attack warranted a bit more of a threat there. They got the loose ball on the back post, the cross came in from the left hand side, it was retrieved on the Norwich right hand side, the ball into the box, just far too much height on it.
Town kind of playing a 4-2-3 at the moment in the absence of Hurst. Ball forward from Furlong, trying to put it in behind from Mehmeti. What a ball! Mehmeti's onside! And then he goes down on the edge of the area, just couldn't get away from Cordoba. He should have done better there. Terrific pass from Furlong to put him away.
Yeah, wonderful pass it really was, and the run was exceptionally good. The only thing he's done is dwell. He's dwelt on the ball when he's got there, and he should have just continued to get it into the back of the net.
Hurst's back on. McLean with the ball into the box. Can Ahmed bring it down? He can't. Fisher plays it into the middle. It comes off the Town player. And out for another corner kick to Norwich City.
Yeah, they've won the corner purely and simply because they've overloaded. They've two players going for the same ball. One misses it, the other retrieves it. They win a corner.
Norwich looking for an equaliser in the 29th minute. Ahmed was on his and City's second corner off to our left-hand side. All 10 blue shirts back inside Walton's penalty area. Man in orange has his gloves high above his head as Ahmed plants this ball into the mix. Player goes down, it's an Ipswich man. Play continues inside the box. Referee's blown his whistle again as Stacey slips. It's an Ipswich Town ball.
Yep, that's okay, you know, I mean, it's a threat, a corner's a threat. If somebody wants to give a free kick away, fine. You know, that the danger has completely disappeared. We're doing okay, you know, what we're doing really well. We're denying Norwich any opportunity to score a goal, basically. They're not creating chance and we're not making mistakes, so all's pretty rosy at that end of the pitch.
Tom Neal, the fourth official, is going to hear Philippe Clement's voice in his sleep tonight. They've got to know each other really well in the past 29 minutes. Darling to Stacey again. Philogene drops back in. Important challenge. That's come off Stacey for me. Yep, flag goes up, pointing towards the Norwich City half of the field. It's a Leif Davis throw in. He was always going to come back in the side for you, wasn't he, Leif, this afternoon?
Yeah, without doubt. I think that overall he's our best left back in the club. You know, he can do pretty much everything, and particularly, you know, we're at the top end of the table. We do need to be good in sort of attacking areas, and Leif gives us that extra option, you know. So forget the fact that he's not the best defender in the world. His attacking play is brilliant, and it is needed in this division.
McLean nudged hip to hip by Philogene to the deck. Once again, it's a free kick to Norwich City. They've got 5 of their subs out warming up at the moment. Just Casey McAteer off the away bench. McLean with this free kick from distance. Norwich have got 15 minutes to score a first half equaliser. Crowd have settled down somewhat. McLean plants this ball into the Ipswich area. Up goes Furlong, beaten in the air by Darling, nodded away by O'Shea, covering behind. Good work from the skipper. Field with this throw in for Norwich, taken by Fisher. Fisher gives it back to Field. Fisher once more, getting in towards the Ipswich Town area, and he tucks the ball back to the left-hand side, and Ahmed. Fisher's gone on the overlap. Ahmed is faced by Johnson. Both Mehmeti and Furlong are there. The ball's pulled back to Maatsen. Maatsen shoots eventually. Walton's behind it. It was on target. It was a comfortable stop from Walton. It was hit from all of 25 yards or more.
Yeah, he got a little bit of daylight, and quite rightly sort of had a pop, but it wasn't ever going to trouble Christian Walton. But that's pretty much one of the very first sort of shots on target by Norwich, you know, so they haven't done particularly well in this half.
Yellow card for Stacey for hacking down Philogene on the far side. 14 minutes gone. What we've had 2 bookings apiece, 4 bookings so far in this derby.
Yeah, a quick look at the stats, and that's exactly what we're seeing. Norwich having most of the ball, but we're having most of the opportunities at goal, and we're having more visits to their penalty area than they are to ours.
Furlong's ball down the line, curls out of play. Mehmeti applauds the idea to throw in for Norwich. If you weren't with us when the team news read out, Neil, Clark, McAteer and Nunez all out to the side. Davis, Taylor, Mehmeti and the goal scorer Philogene all coming into the side that beat Birmingham on Monday. Throw in for Norwich. It goes towards Ahmed, who gets the better of Matusiwa. I've not mentioned Matusiwa an awful lot in this game. Ahmed to Slimani. Slimani back in field for Ahmed. Belted away long by Taylor. Hurst's flag for offside in his battle with Cordoba, who shoves him away.
I don't think they'll be exchanging shirts after the game, those two.
It's a good challenge between those two. Darling, the free man at the back for Norwich, which is the way they'd have planned it, really. Fisher trying to get away from Johnson, which he's managed to do. Good strong run this from Fisher. Edge of the box, gives it to Ahmed. Ahmed plays it first time left-footed into the middle, but it's Furlong on the forehead, and cannons out for a corner to Norwich.
That was a good headed block by Darnell Furlong, because I think that had some sort of possibilities on that cross, going into the right sort of area to cause problems.
Could be a threat down this left-hand side. Fisher likes to run with the ball. Corner kick to Norwich. Ahmed to take it. Town lead 1-0. 33 minutes gone in the second East Anglian derby of the season, and it comes from Ahmed. Town have just about dealt with it. Finally O'Shea, shot from Fisher deflected, goes for a handball. It's gone out of play for a corner, so Norwich can at least keep up the pressure in that sense.
Yeah, there's only two stats that Norwich are actually winning in its possession of the ball and the amount of corners they're winning on the corner count, but we are actually so far dealing with them really well.
And leading 1-0. Ahmed with this corner for Norwich. Referee wants a word with Christian Walton, and also Pella Matson. Slimani and Stacey are on the edge of the area. Fisher is a little bit deeper. Everyone else, bar the taker, Ahmed, is inside the Ipswich Town penalty area. Two centre-halves and Field are the tallest players in there. McLean is no slouch in the air either. The referee still being very busy. Finally, Ahmed should be able to take this corner kick for Norwich. He puts his left hand in the air. Then he plays it towards the far stick. Up goes Walton. Great hands from the goalkeeper. Then he dived down the ball for extra security.
Yeah, beautiful take by Christian Walton. Beautiful.
Excellent season, Walton. Leif Davis has the ball on the far side. Hasn't really been able to attack as much as he would like. Kept things quiet on that side. Philogene rolls it in field to Matusiwa. One touch back to Greaves. 10 minutes of the first half to go. Taylor sells Matusiwa a bit short. Paul from Town in midfield. Matson, edge of the area, brought down is he by Taylor? No, the referee got a good view of that, and for once doesn't blow his whistle, and it looked a good shout by the referee. Town give the ball away again. That's the last thing they fist scoring. Was he brought down? No. It's a free kick for Ipswich Town in the end. But that was worrying when Norwich broke forward. Town giving up possession in midfield.
Yeah, Azor is Matusiwa is just getting caught too many times on the ball. He's rubbing his thigh at this present moment in time. I just
heavily strapped.
Whether his mobility has been affected.
He's got strapping on there. Yeah, he has. Big blue compression tube by the looks of things. Philip Clement speaking of one of his subs. Surely it's too early for that. 10 minutes of the first half to go. Town still have this 1-0 penalty lead. Philogene after a controversial decision. Walton left-footed, swinging a ball out away from Johnson. Out it goes for a throw to Norwich at left back. There's one of their subs who goes out on the near side. Jacob Wright getting a rather different reception to that of Marcelino Nunez. Of course, we'll have full match commentary on match night from 7:30 on Tuesday night. Nick and myself will be down at Fratton Park. It's an 8 o'clock kick-off on the south coast. Ball's out of play for an Ipswich Norwich City throw in the end.
Sorry, that was our throw in, and they didn't know what they were doing, the linesman and the referee between. Not a clue.
Fisher with the throw for Norwich City. 36 minutes gone.
Oh,
Get the ball out of his hand. That's a foul throw in. Finally, the referee, he likes to take his time over a decision.
Well, he might as well have just walked on and placed the ball in front of the guy that he was going to throw it to, because that was the worst throw-in I think I've ever seen in my time in football.
That's annoyed Philip Clement even more. That fourth official still getting it from the Belgian. What a job he's done here, though, Philip Clement. Unbelievable what he's turned Norwich City into. As he applauds his side's endeavour. It's now an Ipswich Town throw-in. Darnell Furlong. Look at this calm, as you'd hope. Taylor gets it to Furlong. Furlong infield towards Greaves. Greaves controls that ball, sent at him at a rate of knots. Davis crosses halfway far side. Live on BBC Radio Suffolk Sport. Every kick of these remaining almost 6.5 games of the season for Ipswich Town. What we're hoping are the final 6.5 games of the season. Taylor, good pass to Mehmeti. Mehmeti spins away from Field, held up by Ahmed, rolls it to the right, and Johnson plays it forward to Mehmeti. Nice link-up play. Mehmeti's inside the Norwich area, down the right channel, still has the ball, plays it back towards Philogene, cleared as far as Johnson, miscontrols it, then walloped long by Cordoba. Greaves and Walton have got to be on the same wavelength, and indeed they are. Nice composed cool head from Walton. O'Shea finds Taylor with a bit of space to work in midfield. Taylor plays it square to Matusiwa. Up to the goal scorer, Philogene, still playing with gloves on. Furlong to the right, Ipswich Town in possession, midway inside the Norwich City half. Going about 7 minutes of the first half to go. Town with the upper hand. Greaves skips away from McLean. Davis, terrible pass from Davis. That's a shocker. Christgård might have to go it alone. He's up against O'Shea. Greaves comes back. Christgård thought about shooting. Has support in the middle if he can find them. And it's come off of O'Shea for a corner kick. Leif Davis shakes his head, and so away at that, Leif.
Yeah, awful mistake by Leif Davis, but I was pleased that it was Dara O'Shea who had the one-to-one in defence, because he has actually had an outstanding game so far. His passing has been superb, and his bit of defending there was top class.
Tends to be good in those one-on-one scenarios, and he needed to be there. Norwich City have a corner kick from over on the far left corner. Looks like it's the captain McLean to take it. In at Ben's left-footed, headed away by Davis, atoning for the earlier error. Fisher's header goes back towards McLean. It's a good one. McLean in front of the Ipswich fans. Ben's is cross in, headed away well by O'Shea. And as far as Ahmed, good block from Matusiwa. Appeals for a penalty kick not given. Stacey tries to go the long way around. It was too long. And the ball's out behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, he's just trying to be too clever, Jack Stacey there. You know, that was a really difficult ball to deal with. Bouncing ball, bit of spin on it, trying to be far too clever. They're just, at the moment, they're getting lots of possession, Norwich, but they aren't actually creating hardly anything at all, which is good.
Greaves to Davis over on the far side. Davis down the line to Philogene. Philogene in field, straight to field. Up to Ahmed, who's drifted into a central area. Norwich with a bit of possession inside the Ipswich Town half. Have it through Stacey. McLean heels to the touchline far side, having a little run at Davis in front of the Town fans, gets to the byline, right-footed, tries to cross, comes off the studs of Davis's boot, and that's the sixth corner of the half to Norwich compared to just the one for Ipswich, but Town have got the only goal.
Yeah, it's a lot of corners to win from sort of not particularly good play, if you like, but you know, they're winning them. We're defending them well so far. We've got to continue to do that. If we're going to give them away, we've got to defend well.
Norwich corner in the final 5 minutes of this first half, which has been a successful one so far for Town. And it comes from McLean. Poor header by Mehmeti, should have got it away. Instead it's come out to this, the Norwich left. Ahmed against Furlong, tries to play it beyond Furlong to Ben Slimani. In the end it comes off Furlong, back to Fisher. Fisher's cross into the middle, the header out behind, does it? Yeah, could have easily been an own goal. My heart was in my mouth. Thankfully it beat the far post from Greaves, and it's only a corner to Norwich.
Yeah, almost crept in.
It did, didn't it? And I was really worried for Greaves there. Corner kick to Norwich again, putting on a bit of pressure. McLean, in it comes, it's a good one. Swung out the far side though. And it's obviously a goal kick to Christian Walton.
Yeah, they do the normal things on corner kicks, if you like. 6 players inside the penalty area, then an arc of 3 just around the outside of the penalty area, and obviously one taking the ball. They were sort of hitting the ball further out, but now that because they're not having any joy, they're actually trying to get everybody on top of Christian Walton just to make things difficult for the goalkeeper. But generally speaking, the corner kicks aren't very good.
Cleared forward by Darling. Furlong stumbling, sees the ball come off the top of his head and into touch near side. Town have just got to negotiate these next 3 minutes plus added on time to get through to half-time with a lead. Fisher with a throw to McLean, who's come across this left-hand side. Briefly, Kenny McLean, haven't seen much of him in close proximity in this first half. Pulls the ball back well, but Mehmeti is there. Mehmeti spins and shields it from Fisher, then loses out. Not good from Mehmeti at all. Matsson's going to have a go as he skips away from Philogene first. Now the angle's gone against him. Town have numerous bodies back, much to the relief of Anis Mehmeti. Matsson spins away from Mehmeti. Really good play by the Dane wide right. Tempted cross comes off Mehmeti, and it's another corner kick to Norwich.
Yes, another one. Actually, Matsson has not been successful in this game so far, but he's picking up a lot of balls in semi-dangerous areas, which I don't like very much, because he's going to do something with one of them sooner or later. But he looks to be the threat to me out of all of them.
Yeah, he's kind of brought in as Nunez's replacement, Pelle Madsen. Corner kick to Norwich. McLean takes it 1-0, they trail. Headed away well by Furlong. Ahmed's going to see it come out this near side. That's a 9th corner in this first half for Norwich, taken quickly. Then Fisher knocks it in. That's a good ball, headed away well by O'Shea. What can Town do on the break? Here is Mehmeti. Philigin's running beyond them. Good challenge from Field. Matusiwa heads it on. Stacey clips it up in the air. Slimani with a little nod down. Madsen stretches. Greaves heads it away. Referee tells him to get up, quite rightly. Norwich having a real go before half-time to get an equaliser. Ahmed to Stacey on his favoured right boot, didn't decide to cross. Field measures the ball to the left-hand side, and Fisher wants to take on a couple of players, and he finds Ahmed. Back it goes to Field. High cross from Field beyond the far post, up goes Walton, and in the end it's very easy for him.
Yeah, well done, that's decent. We're having to do an awful lot of defending, but we are actually doing it very well. And what pleases me is that we've made this decision before the game to have an extra defender in Ben Johnson on the pitch, and I think that has been necessary.
Greaves onto the right thigh of Darling, closed down by Hurst. Madsen touches it back to Field. Field to Cordoba. Cordoba into midfield, between the lines finds Ahmed. Ahmed skips away from Furlong and Matusiwa. Madsen bombing on for Norwich City. Here is Fisher. Hurst does really well to rob Ahmed, then stumble, but he's found Philogene. Can Town get another goal before half-time? They're coming forward, overlapping is Davis. Philogene now inside the area on his own. Plays it to Hurst! Saved by Kovacevic. That might be a massive moment, very much against the run of play. George Hurst had an excellent chance to make it 2-0.
Well, that's the first time we've been able to see our sort of all-important left-hand side in motion. You know, you've got Philogene in possession of the ball, Leif Davis going like an absolute express train down the outside. You know, gives Philogene a chance to do something, and he took the chance. Terrific square ball to Hursty, but I think Hursty should score from there.
He should definitely score. That was a real chance. The top quality number 9 does that. As much as I love George, he should have scored that, and he knows it himself as well. But Town still lead 1-0. Furlong with this throw-in at the start of the added-on 2 minutes at the end of this first half. A lot of height on the ball, headed away by Norwich, not too far, not down by Greaves, and a shot, and a goal! It's Hurst who makes it 2-0 in stoppage time at the end of the first half. Didn't he take that well? So much against the run of play. Ipswich Town go 2-0 up at Carrow Road.
Well, that was a beautiful finish. We felt that he was guilty of not scoring the previous one. But then he gets another opportunity. He's completely and utterly clear from that situation, and he sort of hammers the ball on the volley into the ground, and it finds the far corner of the net. Super goal, super position to be in. 2-0 up at half-time, or possibly at half-time. I think it's going to be that scoreline. When the opposition have had nearly all of the ball, they haven't created anything like we've created. We've been given a penalty, and we've had 2 other opportunities to actually score. So we could have been 3-0 in front, really, from opportunities. Norwich, I don't really feel that there's one moment I think they possibly could have scored. The nearest they came to scoring was actually an own goal, which I think it was Jacob Greaves headed it for a corner kick.
What a position for Ipswich Town to be in heading into half-time. 2-0 up at Norwich City. First time in 19 years they've scored twice here. That was Alan Lee and Pablo Cunhago back in the day. Norwich with a ball forward, trying to halve the deficit before half-time. Furlong is there and keeping things nice and tight. He clears it down the line and out of play. Now Kieran McKenna's turn to
that is our ball.
Official.
I mean, he's right, Kieran. I mean, what's going on with these officials?
Had another good game so far, but we'll take the first big call from Mr. Backhouse that led to the penalty goal for Philogene. Good goal for Hurst, 10th of the season. Here now on the halfway line is Cordoba, giving the ball to Fisher, particularly after Hurst had just missed that really good chance just beforehand. He put that one away expertly well. Cordoba looking forward towards McLean. He's given the ball to Ahmed instead on this near side. Work for Philippe Clement to do at half-time, which is now. There goes the half-time whistle. And it smiles amongst the away fans. Ipswich Town, thanks to goals from Philogene and Hurst, leading the East Anglian derby by 2-0, Mick Mills.
Yeah, I'll take this performance. I'll take this result at the moment. It's been terrific. First of all, the decision to play Ben Johnson as a sort of wide attacker on paper, but he's doing a great defensive job down this side of the pitch. We were led to believe that the best side of the pitch for Norwich was their left, so we've counteracted it by playing with two sort of fullbacks down that side. That's been a super decision, and it's made us much more solid. But generally speaking, we've played well. We haven't had much of the ball, but we've looked the most dangerous side. I think the referee has gifted us a penalty. That's helped us to sort of say, right, we're one in front, let's hold on to it. But since then, I don't see a chance that Norwich have created. The nearest they've come is when Jacob Greaves headed the ball inadvertently towards his own goal, but it sneaked away for a corner kick. We've had two excellent chances. We've taken one. So, we're sort of doing better than them with regards to chances. Even early on, it was us that were having the shots at goal. It was us that were hitting the target. It was us that was having the entries into the opposition penalty area. So lots of the stats were suggesting that we were doing okay, Norwich were having all the ball but were doing nothing. We were having very limited amount of the ball but doing something. So that pleases you. Good performances out there, particularly I think Dara O'Shea, excellent. His passing, picking out of forward players has been exceptional. And when I look at Norwich, we're 2-0 in front. I look at Norwich and I think there is not a player out there that I fear. I think they're poor down the sides. I don't like Ahmed at all. Maybe this is one of his bad days, but he is having a bad day. He's not threatening at all. I think that McLean is not a wide attacking player and is coming infield too much. Stacey hasn't got the legs to go and really threaten the space that he vacates. The only player that I'm seeing a suggestion that he might do something is Pelle Madsen, midfield player for Norwich. He's getting a lot of the ball around our penalty area, really close to the edge of our penalty area. I don't want to see him in possession like that too many times, because I think there might be a goal in him. But generally speaking, I think before this game we've been led to believe that this is a team of world beaters up here at Carrow Road. They are far from it.
And we'll end on that, and they trail Ipswich Town by 2-0.
And Tim in Barningham sent us another text, says so far Ipswich haven't stayed on the bus. Thank you, Tim. Your thoughts on that first half, most welcome as well. 81333 if you want to drop us a text. 08000 321 333 on WhatsApp. Start your messages with SFK. It's been 20 years since Ipswich Town won at Carrow Road. Could today be the day? 2-0 up. We'll play those goals again during our half-time report. I'll update you on elsewhere in the Championship and Premier League in just a moment.
There's more to this place than meets the eye.
Books bound in human skin. I think whatever way you look at events in this secret Suffolk, they are really very gruesome.
95 years, you want me to describe in a couple of seconds, I expect. Well, I was a Scotland Yard officer, was 6 years at Downing Street. So I got a good feel for what was really secret and what wasn't.
Rumours were there were death rays in Germany, so the government offered a prize of £1,000.
I said I thought it was a very poor possibility.
Thankfully, Robert Watson Watt didn't invent the death ray. Secret Suffolk. Listen now on BBC Sounds.
You with Matchday on BBC Radio Suffolk. Graham Mack here with you through until 6 o'clock. Norwich City 0, Ipswich Town 2 at half-time. Jayden Philogene from the penalty spot. George Hurst just before the half-time whistle. It's one of 3 lunchtime kickoffs today. Goalless in the other 2. Coventry 0, Sheffield Wednesday 0. Coventry could seal promotion to the Premier League this afternoon if they win and Middlesbrough drop points later. It's QPR 0, Bristol City 0 at Loftus Road. In the Premier League, Arsenal 1-1 with Bournemouth at half-time. The Gunners trailed in that one before Gyökeres levelled from the penalty spot. Just 2 3 o'clock kickoffs in the top flight this afternoon. Champions League chasing Brentford and Everton meeting in London. It's Burnley versus Brighton at Turf Moor. Liverpool versus Fulham, the evening kickoff at Anfield at 5:30. Needham Market Newmarket's footballers host Barwell today in the Southern Premier League. The Market men go into the match 2 points off the playoffs with 4 games remaining. Bury Town also have a home fixture against Stamford. Both Leiston and AFC Sudbury are away this afternoon at Corn and Banbury, respectively. In the Isthmian North Division, county rivals Newmarket Town and Felixstowe Walton United meet at the Tristel Stadium. Title-chasing Felixstowe Walton are level on points with leaders Malden and Tiptree, but have played 1 game more. Mildenhall are away at Malden and Tiptree this afternoon, so could do the Seaside as a favour, as well as ease their own relegation fears. The Hall are currently 1 point clear of the drop zone, with Lowestoft Town just below them. Today, Lowestoft entertain Heybridge Swifts and already relegated Brantham Athletic, who've been in good form of late with 3 wins from their last 4. Welcome Walthamstow. This afternoon in our extended matchday programme, we're at 3 of those non-league games locally. Stephen Foster watching Newmarket versus Felixstowe and Walton. We've got Gary Button at Crown Meadow for Lowestoft Town versus Heybridge Swifts, and Nick Garnham watching an all-Thurlow non-league clash at Summer Road, Walsh and the Willows versus Haverhill Rovers, with Haverhill guaranteed a playoff spot in their first season off the back of promotion. They've done very well. Away from football, the Women's Six Nations is underway this afternoon, with world champions England starting their title defence in front of a record-breaking crowd at the Aligned Stadium. England are chasing an 8th successive title. They welcome Ireland, and captain Meg Jones is impressed by her team's attacking options.
Probably another layer we can go to. We want to be unpredictable. We want to have variety. We want to be dominant in that area. So we've got an amazing backline. The speed we play at is, I'm struggling to keep up at times.
England versus Ireland from 2:25 today. Bury St Edmunds rugby players face Henley this afternoon in their penultimate home game of the season. The Wolfpack are 2 points clear at the top of National League 2 East, having won 8 of their last 9 fixtures. In London and South East Division 1, Sudbury round off their latest season away at Old Northamptonians this afternoon. And if Sudbury avoid defeat, they'll be guaranteed a top 6 finish. On to golf. Rory McIlroy will take the largest ever 36-hole lead into the weekend at the Masters. The defending champion 6 shots ahead on 12 under par after a sensational round of 65 at Augusta yesterday. Kat Downs reports.
The question before the Masters started: how would Rory McIlroy go about the defence of his green jacket? Now the career Grand Slam was finally his. Well, he answered that today. 4 birdies in a row to finish off a stunning 7 under 65 and take a 6-shot lead at the halfway stage. His nearest competitors, America's Sam Burns and Patrick Reed, and a further shot back, McIlroy's European Ryder Cup teammates Justin Rose, Shane Lowry and Tommy Fleetwood. But forget the team. This Masters has been an individual triumph for McIlroy so far, as he looks to become only the 4th player to shrug on the green jacket 2 years in a row.
In boxing, former world champion Tyson Fury comes out of retirement tonight for the 5th time in his career. The 37-year-old's fighting his first bout for almost 18 months, taking on the 36-year-old Russian Arslan Bekmambetov at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
Make no mistake, as confident as I am and punching his face in, 100% confident. He's a dangerous man. I heard he had 17 knockouts within the first 3 rounds of 19 KOs, and only two people went the distance with him. I've never overlooked anybody in my life, and I've definitely not overlooked this beast.
And we'll hear more from Tyson Fury later in the programme. We'll also hear from a member of Fabio Wardley's team ahead of the Suffolk World Heavyweight Champions bout with Daniel Dubois next month. Who knows, later in the year, Wardley versus Fury perhaps. It's the 178th running of horse racing's Grand National at Aintree this afternoon. The race goes off at 4 o'clock. The BBC's racing commentator John Hunt looks ahead.
Well, whilst the field of 34 for this year's Grand National is lacking last year's winner Nick Rockett, we do have the 2nd, 3rd and 4th from 12 months ago. I Am Maximus, Grange Clare West and Iroko all back for more. Indeed, I Am Maximus won the great race 2 years ago. Panic Attack will be a popular choice for many. She's got a great name and she's got a big heart and lots of good form to go with it, as indeed have Johnny Who and Final Orders, who are both Cheltenham Festival winners a month ago. All of those horses stem from big, powerful stables, but the dream is still alive for the smaller yards as well. Take, for example, Mr. Vango, trained in Berkshire by Sarah Bradstock, who together with her late husband Mark won the Cheltenham Gold Cup with Coney Gree 11 years ago. But is there a better potential story than that of Oscar's brother, one of only 2 horses trained in County Tipperary by Connor King, who's just 29 years young, and his brother Daniel will have the Grand National ride.
John Hunt reporting. So the Grand National goes off at 4 this afternoon. We are back at Carrow Road in just a few minutes' time.
Davis over this free kick for Ipswich Town, trying to break the deadlock in the East Anglian derby. It's too far out to shoot. He's looking for a colleague, the Ipswich number 3. And he hoists it beyond the far post. Greaves nods it down. Could be dangerous. Cleared away by Ben Slimani. He's kicked an Ipswich Town player. He's gone down in the area. Town players appeal for a penalty. Now then, Norwich on the counter-attack. What's the referee doing here? I don't think he's quite decided what he's doing. Philippe Clement's furious, so too Kieran McKenna. Neither managers agreeing. There's confusion over what the referee is doing here. He's given the penalty. He's given the penalty kick. Anthony Backhouse. Controversy inside the first 10 minutes of this East Anglian derby. It took a while to make up his mind. I don't think the Town fans had realised what had been given. They didn't seem to react at all. Jayden Philogene, he's already scored in one East Anglian derby this season. That was a cracking goal, one of the best we've ever seen in this fixture. Now, after 10 minutes at Carrow Road, hands on his hips, he's got a penalty kick-off to our right-hand side to make it 1-0. Forward he comes and scores!
Good boy.
Philogene drives it off to his right-hand side. The goalkeeper went the opposite direction. He cups his hands to his ears to celebrate over in the far right corner of Carrow Road. And it's Ipswich Town who lead 1-0 in the East Anglian derby. Davis left-footed, puts it into the centre. Hurst with a header! Saved by Kovacevic. It was on target. Good leap from George Hurst. Ball forward from Furlong, trying to put it in behind from Mehmeti. What a ball! Mehmeti's onside! And then he goes down on the edge of the area. Just couldn't get away from Cordoba. He should have done better there. Terrific pass from Furlong to put him away. Both Mehmeti and Furlong are there. The ball's pulled back to Maatsen. Maatsen shoots eventually. Walton's behind it. It was on target. It was a comfortable stop from Walton. It was hit from all of 25 yards or more. Taylor sells Matusira a bit short. Paul from Town in midfield. Maatsen, edge of the area, brought down is he by Taylor. No, the referee got a good view of that, and for once doesn't blow his whistle, and it looked a good shout by the referee. Philogene now inside the area on his own. There's it to Hurst! Saved by Kovacevic. That might be a massive moment, very much against the run of play. George Hurst had an excellent chance to make it 2-0. Furlong with this throw-in at the start of the added-on 2 minutes at the end of this first half. A lot of height on the ball, headed away by Norwich, not too far, not down by Greaves, and the shot, and a goal! It's Hurst who makes it 2-0 in stoppage time at the end of the first half. Didn't he take that well? So much against the run of play. Ipswich Town go 2-0 up at Carrow Road.
Sarah Lilly.
Producer Linda is our tech expert. She's got a robotic vacuum cleaner. It can randomly just talk to you, which is quite scary.
No, that's unnerving now.
I think that's terrible.
Yeah.
Imagine getting into bed in the dark and all of a sudden you hear, "I'm under the bed." Robotic lawnmowers, I would have thought the only thing is if they go off course, taking the heads off all your plants.
Well, no, you
program them. That is the problem, Linda. You can program them all you want, but robots can go wrong, can't they? I'm under the bed.
Sarah Lilly, weekdays 10 till 2.
Just ask your smart speaker to play BBC Radio Suffolk.
You are with Matchday on BBC Radio Suffolk, with you through until 6 this evening. In the Premier League already today, it's half-time at the Emirates. Arsenal 1, Bournemouth 1. Who knows, maybe the Premier League will be our main feature next season. Right now, it's the Championship. 3 games underway. Second half's about to get underway in Coventry, where the leaders are goalless with the bottom of the table side, Sheffield Wednesday. At Loftus Road, it's QPR 0, Bristol City 0. At Carrow Road, in our main feature, Ipswich Town, who've not won away at Norwich City in 20 years, are 2 goals to the good. Jayden Philogene from the penalty spot, George Hurst on the stroke of half-time. Let's rejoin our commentary team ahead of the second half. Mick Mills alongside Brenna Woolley. What a first half. Hopefully Town can keep this going.
Yeah, fingers crossed, and overall they've got themselves in a great position to get promoted back to the Premier League. Currently second in the table on 75 points from 40 when this game's complete. That's a couple more than Millwall, dropping to third at the moment, and obviously they've played 2 fewer games as well. They've still got a couple of games in hand. 2 changes by Norwich at half-time. Schwartau, who got the equaliser at Portman Road, is coming on, and so too Toure. Toure quite likely, almost certainly for Kvistgården. And I think that Schwartau is coming on for Sam Field by the looks of things. Town as they were at 12:30. Walton now occupying the penalty area off to our right. His back four: Furlong, O'Shea, Greaves on a yellow, and Davis. Then it's Matusiwa alongside Taylor. A three of Johnson, Mametti, Philogene, who's a goal scorer, and up front Hurst, a goal scorer. And on a caution on the bench, Palmer, Kipra, Neal, Clark, Nunez, Athon, Akpom, McAteer and Eggley. Just double checking that it is Field who's gone off. So Norwich will have Kovacevic in goal off to our left. The back four of Stacey on the caution, Darling, Cordoba and Fisher. And then it'll be Schwartau alongside Matson, the three of McLean, Ben Slimani and Ahmed. And now up top is Toure, the Australian, who arrived in January and got a lot of goals. He's a good player by the sounds of things. On the bench, Grimshaw, Gibbs, Magoma, Treseni, Wright, Forson and McConville. So Town in blue, white, blue, defending the end off to our right hand side. So kicking towards the end where their supporters are, over in the far left corner of Carrow Road. Norwich City in yellow, green, yellow, defending that end of the pitch as Hurst goes up, wins an early header, edge of the area. Philogene goes down just outside the box. McLean towards Stacey, near side. Stacey up towards the halfway line. Norwich obviously desperate to half the deficit as soon as they possibly can and get a foothold on this game, as O'Shea, as solid and dependable as ever, kicks the ball out near side for a throw to Norwich City. Philogene and Hurst have given Ipswich Town a 2-0 lead. Stacey down the right, little ball in field towards Toure, overhit that pass, came on a few days ago at Millwall and changed the game from Norwich's perspective. Mohamed Toure, there were a few Norwich fans thought he might go in from the start at number 37. Well, he's going to get 45 minutes plus to see what he can do in his first ever appearance in an East Anglian derby.
Yeah, it looks as if McLean has gone into a more central ride. I didn't think he was at all successful on the right hand side. Swarter has gone out, so he's the right side attacking player, so that probably is a good change for Norwich City, and of course they've changed the front man as well.
Strong header by O'Shea and halfway for Town. Little nod down by Hurst, finds Philogene as the two goal scorers link up. Here's Davis playing in front of us in this second half. Full match commentary on BBC Radio Suffolk. Philogene's first start for a while. Towards halfway, Matusiwa tried the little Cruyff turn, caught late by McLean. Kieran McKenna appeals for the free kick. Decision's already been made. Greaves, quick free kick up towards Philogene, who spins and gives it to Davis on the left-hand side. Davis ball to the area and Hurst down the left channel, held up by Matson. George has done well, tries to find Philogene. Slimani's in there. In a quiet first half. Ben Slimani. Biggest impact was the foul on Taylor for the penalty. O'Shea volleys the ball downfield all the way to Kovacevic.
Yeah, that was nice ball out to Leif Davis, and then his ball in to George Hurst. That was a nice ball as well. So when we get possession of the ball, we've got to be good on it, and we've got to be careful on it as well.
This would be a 6th win from 9. The other 3 all draws for Ipswich Town. They're in terrific form at this stage of the season. This game before kick-off was 3rd versus 4th in whichever form table you wanted to look at, really, over the last 6, 8 or 10 games. That's the kind of form that both of these sides have been in. And they've scored in every game bar one of their last 11, Norwich. A 1-0 defeat to Southampton. So they will pose a threat in the second half. Stacey down the right-hand side, gives the ball towards Schwartau. His first touch is coming on, drifts infield away from Davis. Low ball into the box, dealt with by Ipswich Town. He seemed to get away from Davis way too easily. Cordoba to Fisher. Right-footed ball into the box. It's over the top of Schwartau, who bundles Greaves to the floor. Goal kick to Walton.
Yeah, poor cross, far too deep, easy to defend. That's good for us. Now we've got to just make sure next 5 or 10 minutes are important to get your own personal game going, and also for the team to get back to being a nice cohesive unit.
It's Norwich's 4th season back at this level, finishing the playoffs when Town went up 2 years ago. As Stacey lunges in there, gets the ball away from Philogene into the hands of Philippe Clement, who was managing Monaco before he went to Glasgow Rangers. He previously managed a handful of Belgian clubs. Experienced manager on the point when he was here by Ben Napper and co. He was under all sorts of pressure, their sporting director. And Liam Manning departed, but he's pulled one out of the fire here O'Shea with a header forward to Taylor. Taylor tries to clip it on first time, but he only finds the sizable chest of Cordoba. Cordoba along the floor to Ahmed, closed down by Johnson. Extra protection in front of Furlong as a cool breeze picks up at Carrow Road. Schwartau trying to play the ball down the line, blocked off by Davis. But out the ball goes for a throw to Norwich City. Your thoughts welcome after this. 0800 141 2121 if you want to chat to Graham and Mick, or text 81333. Start those messages SFK. WhatsApp 08000 321 333. Start those SFK. Or if you want to get in touch with me ahead of Monday night's Blue Hour show here on BBC Radio 7 on Everton 6 and 7, you can email me brenner@bbc.co.uk. Lovely play from Norwich. Ben Slimani picking up the ball from Ahmed, running at the Ipswich Town back line. He's gone a distance, he's had a shot and it's saved by Walcott. He's on target, but he had a fair old while and had time to size up his options there.
A little bit too much room, Slimani there. He completely free in that 10 position, and the pass was really good to pick him out. We've got to just make sure that there's not a big gap between the back four and the midfield. That was too much room.
McLean running through midfield for Norwich, flicking the ball forward. Ahmed's pacey, but he's not that quick. It's out behind for a goal kick to Ipswich Town. As you would expect, Norwich starting the second half on the front foot, having a go at Ipswich Town, asking a few questions, but so far Town's clean sheet still intact.
Yeah, the two changes have probably sort of picked them up. They just now feel that maybe they can sort of have a second half not fraught with sort of problems, but they will need a really quick reward to maintain this sort of second half spirit.
Walton left-footed towards Hurst. It's over the top of him. Philigin's trying to run him behind. Stacey does well enough in the end to duck down and head the ball back to Kovacevic. Underarm from the Bosnian to Stacey. Stacey up towards Schwartau. Then Maatsen with a loose pass, but Stacey might get onto it. Greaves goes to ground, wins the challenge well. Hurst flicks the ball up in the air. Schwartau nudged down by Mehmeti. Free kick to Norwich City, right in front of the Ipswich Town dugout. Cordoba for Norwich City. Out to the left-hand side, and Ahmed. Chance for once to go one-on-one with Furlong, although Johnson's tucking in behind. Ball into the box from Fisher. Deflected beyond the far post and out towards Jaden Philogene. He keeps it in play, but then loses it. Well read by Schwartau. Philogene, poor challenge. Low ball into the centre, cleared away by Greaves. Down under a little bit of pressure to be expected. Can they stand strong? Stacey's ball into the box. It's headed away on the edge of the D by Matus Siwa. Here is McLean. Obviously the noise levels will go up considerably if Norwich can get themselves a goal back. Even a corner kick. They're still 2-0 behind as McLean gives the ball to Ahmed. Now running towards Furlong. Ball into the box to McLean. McLean shoots. Hits Johnson. Poor clearance from Johnson. Norwich have it inside the Ipswich area with Ahmed. Ahmed now outside the box on the left corner of the area. Town being forced back. Maatsen square to Slimani. He's given it towards Darling. Darling strikes, deflected off Greaves. Good block from the former Hull player. Out it goes wide for a throw.
Well, I think Schwartau on the right-hand side has given them more width, and they seem to have more sort of options just by making that change.
Schwartau did well there, but he gave it away to Taylor in the end. Philogene rolls the ball under his studs, gives it back to Davis, who clears off Stacey. And out for a throw-in to Ipswich at left back. It's the home crowd trying to get behind their players. Nunez and Clark sent out for a warm-up. You can hear the reaction. Don't know what they've got against Jack Clark. Here comes Davis with a throw down this touchline. One in the air by Darling. Then up goes Matus Siwa. Out jumps the taller Ben Slimani. Furlong happy to clear it away. Cordoba, all the action inside the Ipswich Town half at the moment. Maatsen lobs a ball out to the right. Furlong measures his header back well. After an initial stumble, he did well to regroup and get his feet sorted out, Furlong.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same as the first half. Norwich in possession of the ball much more than us, but we're defending nicely. We look a nice compact unit, and we just have to do this for maybe 15-20 minutes, and it might just take any sort of feeling Norwich have of coming back into this game away.
Mistake from McLean, in goes Mehmeti. Now Taylor floats a delicate ball out to the left-hand side. He's measured it perfectly. It holds up for Hurst, who made it 2-0. He's now inside the Norwich area. Might fancy another goal. Yes, he does. It's woeful from George, high into the crowd, well wide.
No, come on, George. Your left back has absolutely run a mile there to support you. He'll be telling you exactly when to release it. You just roll that ball towards that byline. Leaf would have got there, and he could have picked anything out he wanted inside the box. You know, that's bad, greedy play, George.
Yeah, rush of blood from Hurst. Good header won by O'Shea. Town now growing into the second half with a bit of luck. Quick feet from Philogene, gets away from a couple of players. Lovely play from Philogene. Eventually went to ground as he spun on top of the ball. He's taken on all comers. Real wizardry there from Philogene, and he's won Town a free kick in a good position.
Yeah, really good position. You know, we've got you can go right foot, left foot here. Left foot might be the answer if you're going to cross the ball. Right foot obviously for the shot, but Leif Davis looks to be the favourite. We've got lots of options to hit on the back post here, just beyond the back post, so the goalkeeper does not get involved, and your players on that side of the pitch can.
10 minutes gone in the second half of the East Anglian derby at Carrow Road. Town have a free kick about 27 yards from goal. It's left of centre. Davis is over it. Looks set to try and find a teammate beyond the far post. You've got Furlong, O'Shea, Hurst, Mehmeti there. Davis puts it in left-footed towards the captain, headed away by Fisher, recycled by Mehmeti in front of the Town fans. The Albanian has his back to them, facing the area, pulls it back to Johnson. Johnson's first touch to control, and in comes the cross, headed away by McLean as far as Taylor. Taylor might fancy a dig. He's inside the area, now wide right. He crosses it, but Cordoba controls and then clears towards Toure. Toure against Matu Siwa, both waiting to see how the ball was going to spin. Matu Siwa nodded it away from Toure in the end.
Yeah, nice play. It's a nice little sort of visit to the other end of the pitch. It will have helped us out sort of mentally.
Good header on by Johnson. Cordoba gets there ahead of Mehmeti and tries to see the ball out behind, or back to Kovacevic. A little bit of afters between Mehmeti and Cordoba. Referee keeping an eye on them. Classic, typical derby stuff, nothing to worry about. Here is Fisher, the left back in central midfield for a second. Ahmed goes back to Cordoba. Live on BBC Radio Suffolk. Every kick of the rest of this game and Town's remaining 6 games, starting with Portsmouth. Fingers crossed, Portsmouth. Finally, the third attempt takes place on Tuesday. Ahmed up towards Schwartau. Good ball from Schwartau to the right-hand side. And Stacey. It's looked decent since he came on Schwartau. McLean to Matson to Schwartau, trying to pick out Ahmed. In the way was Greaves. That was nice, promising play from Norwich. Mehmeti tries to get Philogene away. Good interception by McLean, the captain. Much more at home in central midfield. McLean, good ball from McLean to Toure inside the area. Shots wide, the flag stayed down. Norwich playing some nice stuff at the moment.
Yeah, very good football there, and half chance, you've got to say. Just didn't seem to get, a free sort of swing of the ball, but that was a good move. Certainly better with Schwartau on the right-hand side and McLean moving into a central position.
Here come changes. Marcelino Nunez been recalled to the bench with a smile on his face. Play continues. Greaves up towards Philogene. You'll certainly know when he comes on. The ball's with Philogene up to the halfway line. Those tricky feet of his, runs into Stacey. Schwartau doubling up on him. Good control by Hurst on halfway. That's excellent play from the striker to Taylor. Taylor on a run, goes infield, caught by Stacey. He's on a yellow card. Not going to get a second one for that, and nor should he, but I'm sure he was a little bit worried.
Good running by Taylor. Really good running, positive, direct. Really hurts the opposition when you drive into an area like that.
Athon coming on as well, so double change about to take place for Ipswich Town. It's the Town fans starting to chant Nunez his name. Davis, as you can hear in the background. Davis on this free kick for Ipswich Town. 2 minutes to go until the hour mark is reached. They lead 2-0 in the East Anglian derby. High one up towards O'Shea outside the area. Heads it centrally. Good nod down from him. Ball drops to Cordoba, who clears it. With Davis on the ball for Ipswich. His attempted pass blocked off by Schwartau. Davis gets it back, and then Schwartau closes him down, and out the ball goes for a throw-in. It's only 19, Schwartau, second season. Another one brought in from Danish football. Davis with a throw-in for Ipswich gets the ball to Hurst. Hurst pushed off the ball by his international colleague McLean. Hurst has another nibble at the Norwich captain. McLean's carried the ball a long way. What a run, but then he runs into trouble, takes down Johnson. Johnson's rolling around. It's a free kick to Ipswich Town outside the Norwich area. McLean kept going diagonally until eventually he brought down Johnson. Now the Norwich players are saying that he was continually fouled in the build-up to that, McLean.
Yeah, McLean he was never getting out of trouble. He was never finding any daylight. He avoided one, he avoided another, and in the end you just felt he was going just a little bit too far in possession of the ball, and in the end he gets penalised.
Nettie being pulled away from a potentially tricky situation and told to calm down by Darnell Furlong. When this all settles down, Town have a free kick in a really good position outside the Norwich City area. Nunez is still waiting alongside Athon. Kieran McKenna has a smile on his face as he gives Nunez a bit of a hug. Let's see when these changes are going to be made. Here come the first changes of the afternoon for Ipswich Town. Hurst is being replaced by Athon.
Nunez is coming on to take a free kick.
And the other change is Nunez replacing Mehmeti. Can you imagine if he comes on and takes this free kick and scores from it?
Yeah, wonderful.
Funny things have happened. Hasn't quite happened yet. You got a flavour of the reaction just in the background there. Obviously Hurst and Mehmeti in no great rush to leave the field of play. The players stretching out there. Furlong chatting to the referee. So too Fisher. As soon as he sets foot back on Carrow Road, there'll be a reaction. It's coming now.
You've got to let him take the free kick.
Oh, you do. This stage, Leif Davis has got the ball in his hands. He's going to take it. Potentially one of the most explosive entrances ever into an East Anglian derby. If Marcelino Nunez puts this free kick into the net off to our left-hand side.
Go on, my son.
Can you imagine the reaction? Either way, there'll be a massive reaction. Because he's going to take it. 16 minutes gone in the second half. Town lead this East Anglian derby by 2-0. Marcelino Nunez back at Carrow Road. He's already scored for both of these clubs this season. He's on this free kick. This would be the stuff that nightmares are made of if you're a Norwich City fan. What a dream introduction if you're supporting the blue half of East Anglia. The referee seems happy. It's Nunez or Davis. Surely it's Nunez. Or is it? Yes, it is. He comes forward, hits it into the wall, blocked off. Norwich City did their job. Can Town rebuild? No, Norwich bring it away. Ball come the yellow shirts from left to right. Wide left, it's Ahmed, given the ball by Fisher. Only one target in the centre. The others haven't made up ground. Ahmed comes in field. On his right foot, in comes his cross towards Touré. Headed away well by Greaves. So strong in the air. Stacey plays a nice 1-2. Stacey wide right, in comes his cross. Headed away again by Greaves. Magoma about to come on for Norwich. He's been a good signing since he arrived in January from Brentford. Real fans' favourite. Can he turn around a 2-0 deficit, though? He's coming on for Ben Slimani, who's had a quiet game. He who gave away the penalty that helped Ipswich Town go 1-0 up. Still got what? Well, we've only played 17 and a half minutes in the second half.
It's number 25, Paris Magoma.
He's a good footballer. Throw in for Ipswich Town. Leif Davis to take it as Dan Neal, Casey McAteer and Jack Clark are stretching underneath us. Cordoba goes back to Kovacevic. Town second in the live table. Middlesbrough at home to Portsmouth later on. Middlesbrough currently 3 points behind Ipswich. At the end of today, Town will still have 2 games in hand over next Sunday's visitors to Portman Road. That's Town's penultimate home game. Next Sunday lunchtime. Middlesbrough. Of course, Town could open up an even bigger gap by playing one of their games in hand on Tuesday. Furlong with a long flat through it on the far side, headed down and out by Cordoba. It's another throw into Darnell Furlong. This would be, as we said at the start, A huge win for Ipswich Town, beyond the context just of East Anglian rivalries. What it would do to the league table with just 6 more games to go would be very nice on the eye. Furlong throws the ball to Nunez. Every touch is going to be booed. Here is again Nunez in front of the Town fans. Ball's going out of play for a throw-in. Of course, it was Ivan Athon who hit the post when Jack Clark followed up for that decisive 3-1 goal at Portman Road. Went through a real spell early on in his Town career, off hitting the woodwork, Athon, but he's done well recently when he's been involved. Just missed the game the other day through injury. Maatsen plays the ball back to Darling on his bike further forward down the right wing, almost as Stacey, the fullback. Darling puts it shorter into mid-Schwartau, infield to Stacey. Stacey to Maatsen, gets the better of Nunez. Home fans like that little flick over the top of the Chilean. McLean, the ball forward to Magoma. Started his career at Tottenham, might have had an overlap with Kieran McKenna. Ahmed on the left wing, cutting infield for Norwich City. Little reverse ball into the box, as she sees it goes back to Walton. Good communication between centre-half and goalkeeper.
Yeah, we defended it all right, but that's pretty sloppy as far as the Norwich attack are concerned.
Davis down the line to Philogene, tries to touch it round Stacey, goes out of play off of Philogene. Every chance he'd be replaced by Clark at some point, maybe in the next 5 minutes or so perhaps. 25 minutes to go. Maatsen gets the better of Athon and tries to wriggle away from Philogene. Cordoba receives the ball in the centre circle, left-footed out to the left, and Ahmed one-on-one with Furlong. Ahmed to the overlapping Magoma square, comes off O'Shea, and it's out for a corner kick to Norwich City, their 10th of the game. Town had just the one.
No, again, we're defending crosses really well. Invariably, every cross that has gone in, it seems to be met by a blue-shirted player, so we're doing our job really well at the back.
Corner kick to Norwich City. Off to our right-hand side. They're 2-0 behind with 24 minutes to go in the derby. All the usual shoving and shirt-tugging going on in there. In comes the right-footed delivery, headed away by Greaves expertly once more. Probably justifying his place in the team at the moment. Stacey towards Magoma. Magoma goes square, comes off Philogene and is kept in by Magoma. It's only going to go out for a throw, not a corner this time. Magoma's cross is deep to the far post. There are players there. Chested down by Schwartau, who lobs it back in centrally. It's over the top of Greaves this time, so too Darling. And out behind for a goal kick. No, it's come off of Greaves. Must have got the faintest of touches. It's yet another corner to Norwich.
Yeah, and they're starting to pile. The 6 players that go inside the penalty area are tending to go inside the 6-yard box. They've got 5 in there at the moment, 1 loitering out.
Corner kick to Norwich. McLean, the captain, is on it. It's his 4th East Anglian derby that he's played in this afternoon. Left-footed delivery from him into the near post, well headed away by O'Shea. Up by Philogene, fully away by Athon. His first touch, I think, since coming on. McAteer about to come on for Ipswich Town by the looks of things. Philogene goes to ground. Referee thought he was going to say play on. His assistant got a really good view of that. It's out for a throw to Norwich in the end, so they did play on. Ball is thrown back towards Fisher. Casey McAteer getting a lot of instruction from one of Kieran McKenna's backroom staff. Nunez on Maatsen, free kick, and now Darling's gone for Nunez. There's a bust up, and Darling's been hauled back by Taylor. Surely just going to be a yellow card for Chile at the end of all this. He's been guided away by O'Shea. O'Shea's telling Ahmed to do one, and now Toure's having a go at O'Shea, who's the peacemaker. Darnell Furlong's getting in between the two of them as well. All sparked by initially the challenge from Nunez on Maatsen, and then Darling's reaction towards his former teammate, and it's still bubbling up.
The bench, they're having a little picnic as well.
No cards in the end after all of that. Not that I spotted. Referee wants a word with O'Shea. It's going to be a yellow card for someone or other after all of that. He's got his notepad out, just Nunez perhaps.
Philogene will be booked because he keeps moving this ball that's placed for the free kick. Stay away from it.
Referee speaking to Nunez, McLean and Darling. Yellow card for Nunez and a yellow card for Darling by the looks of things after all of that. Nunez for the initial foul and Darling for his reaction. Right, 21 minutes to go in this game. Jack Clark about to come on for Ipswich Town. McLean on this free kick for Norwich. It's a fair old way out. Will require the intervention of one of his teammates. Town have got the two-man wall of Philogene and Nunez. Walton's moved them slightly to his left as he looked at things. Free kick to Norwich. McLean on it from a fair distance out. There's only a one-man wall of Jaden Philogene. Norwich have got 21 minutes to score 2 goals. McLean puts the ball into the Ipswich area, headed away well by O'Shea. It's a really strong header away. Fisher touches it back to McLean. McLean left-footed, knocks it forward. Too much on it for Ahmed. Out behind, goal kick.
Yeah, that was potentially a dangerous situation. You had all the emotion of what the nonsense that was going on, and then you've got to defend a free kick. Sometimes you get it wrong in those situations, but free kick wasn't good enough and the return ball wasn't good enough.
Clark waiting. Philogene knows it's him that's going to be replaced by the looks of things. So, goals in the first half. Philogene from the penalty spot. Hurst with a fine hit just before half-time. Town still lead 2-0 live on BBC Radio Suffolk with 20 minutes of the derby to go. Athon with a flick header on. Cordoba closed down by Johnson. The ball goes into the Ipswich Town supporters. Happy with the way things there. Trip to Norfolk has gone thus far. Clark now can come on for Ipswich Town and replace Philogene. Philogene applauds and is applauded by the Ipswich Town fans. He certainly had an impact with that opening goal of the afternoon. As on comes Clark. Throw in to Norwich City, which Fisher is going to be taken. We talk a lot about how good Town are at home, but their last 7 away in the league, 4 wins and a draw in that little run. Obviously this will be win number 5 out of 8 on their travels. That's excellent form away as well. Forward from Darling down the right hand side. Davis is watching it. Walton's on the edge of his area, might have to use his head. He's made a bit of a mess of it. Walton hooked towards goal, not quite. Comedy capers at the back until eventually Walton gets on the ball. But that was a little bit nervy for a moment there.
Yeah, at the end, Christian, don't throw yourself on the ground. That looks rubbish. That really does. You know, you've got possession of the ball. It's in your hands. Just get on with the game.
Walton off to our right-hand side. And we see what Norwich might have from the bench. They haven't got a great deal now. They put on Magoma and Touré in terms of goal threat or creativity. They're badly missing Makama. Darling catches Athon in the face. Athon's gone down and stayed down. Needs to get back up on his feet. Here is Nunez near side. First time he's had the ball underneath us, and he's lost it. Phenomenal reaction from the home crowd to that. Stacey back towards Harry Darling. Now Kovacevic. Over on the far side is Cordoba. Fisher bends the ball back to his goalkeeper. Kovacevic.
Good run.
Kovacevic to McLean. Way too much on that pass. Given away eventually by Norwich City. Leif Davis though goes down. Caught by an arm of Maatsen. Ball forward to Touré. Touré is on it. Can he get away from O'Shea? No, O'Shea does well. Good work again from the captain. Passes it to Darling though. Maatsen for Norwich. Cresceni, left back. Former Aston Villa player coming on. Davis goes into the back of Maatsen on the halfway line. It's going to be a yellow card for Leif by the looks of things. Just a little bit annoyed that he hadn't been given the decision his way a few moments earlier. Stacey is being replaced by Cresceni, so Fisher will go to right back, his more natural home, and Cresceni will go to left back. Warm embrace and a few words from Philippe Clement towards Jack Stacey as he puts a big coat on and settles down below us. Still no Casey McAteer, who was talked to for a long time by one of the Town coaches, probably 5-6 minutes or so ago now. He's still waiting underneath us. Because Kieran McKenna only has one more window in which he can make changes in this game. Ahmed infield to Matson, 2-0 Town. Here is Magoma running at the Ipswich Town back line, getting inside the box. He's still got it, Paris Magoma. In the way steps Matu Siwa. Taylor gets it away, but only onto the chest of Matson. Matson looks up. A very nervy finish if Norwich can get a goal back now with 16 to play. Matson outside the area, tried to tee it up for Magoma. Too much on the pass. Cordoba back to the left-hand side. Cresceni just on as a substitute. He gives it to Matson outside the box. Little ball into the area. Matson was caught late by Taylor. Was he? No, says the referee. Hasn't blown his whistle as much in the second half, thankfully. Again, 0800 141 2121 is the number for afterwards, or text 81333. Start those SFK WhatsApps 08000 321 333. Again, up SFK at the start of those. Or if you want to join me on Monday's Blue Hour programme, and hopefully we're celebrating an East Anglian derby win between 6 and 7. The email's brenner@bbc.co.uk. Nunez brings down Cresceni far side. Fans obviously desperate for him to get a second yellow, but he was never going to get one for that challenge. So funny that he was the absolute hero in this part of the world the last time we were here. And scored the winner. Ball over the top, which Toure didn't read. Town bizarrely seemed to make a bit of a mess of it. Shouldn't have got through them, but did. But yeah, it's out of play off McLean.
Yeah, this is one of those times in the game where you've had so many changes made by both teams. It sort of loses its identity a little bit. The players that have gone on haven't really settled into any sort of game, and you're just not quite sure where this is going to go to.
No, suits Ipswich Town a lot more with this 2-0 lead. And ball, I think, given against Cordoba, who fell on the ball. In order to referee the match. That's what is given here, the referee. He gets a yellow card as well for his trouble. So both Norwich centre-halves on cautions. It's a free kick to Town in a good position wide right, next to their supporters. Yeah, I couldn't see anything wrong with it at the moment.
He's given this
handball.
Yes, handball. He's making the decision, you know, without waiting for the officials, you know. So
good on the
this
referee.
could be really expensive.
Yeah, good decision from the referee. You see players doing that.
Yeah.
He thought he'd been fouled, put his hand on the ball. He hadn't been. So it's a fair call. Free kick wide right for Ipswich Town. Outside the Norwich penalty area. A chance for them to make sure they're winning back-to-back East Anglian derbies. Nunez, who else on this set piece? Plenty players to hit inside Kovacevic's penalty area off to our left, and it comes right-footed, straddled the feral distance, headed away by Schwartau, lobbed back to the left by Taylor. A little touch from O'Shea. Davis up against Schwartau, nudged to the ground by Schwartau. Now what's the referee doing here? Because Davis has done the same as Cordoba. Felt he was fouled. And now it's going to be a free kick. Kenny McLean saying to the referee that Leif Davis had kicked the ball away and warranted a second yellow card. The referee's having none of it. Cordoba goes back to Kovacevic. Norwich have it at the back with Darling, a bit niggly at the moment. 13 to go. Will be finished with 22 players on the field. Live on BBC Radio Suffolk. Still the goals from Philogene from the spot. Hurst just before half-time. The only ones we've seen. Headed on by Cresceni. Given away by O'Shea. Poor clearance. Magoma inside the Ipswich Town area. Maybe a chance for Ahmed. In comes a chance from O'Shea. Good one, says the referee. And so too O'Shea's colleagues. It's a corner kick rather than a penalty.
Yeah, good recovery. He's made the mistake and he's recovered. That's all he can do.
We've had 13 corner kicks. Norwich City 12 corner kicks in this game. Norwich on this corner kick off to our right hand side. They'll feel they've got to score sooner rather than later if they have a chance of getting anything from this game at 2-0 down. And it comes right-footed, dealt with by Town. Pulls for a penalty, nothing given. Clark will try and run away. Kept his balance excellently, put it forward to Nunez. Now as Nunez got the pace, he's got support in the middle. It's 2-on-3. Ball from Nunez to Athon! Saved by Kovacevic! Oh, he had to score there, cleared away only as far as Johnson. It would have been an assist for Nunez. Town had bodies forward. They were outnumbering Norwich City, but didn't make the most of it. Johnson on the right wing, trying to get away from his marker Cresceni. He's won a throw-in.
Well, that should have been game, set and match.
Really should have been.
That's wonderful. We were 4v1.
Great opportunity for Ipswich Town. Just seeing the appeals for that penalty again. McLean felt he was hauled down by Johnson, it was.
That's possible too.
Yeah. Well, decisions are starting to even themselves up all of a sudden for Ipswich Town. Mentioned the Birmingham one earlier on and the penalty in this game. Due a little bit of luck there. Furlong with this throw into the Norwich area. 11 minutes to go at Carrow Road. Headed up but not away by Darling. Needs some help from McLean, who kicks it up and away as far as Taylor. Taylor gives it to Matusiwa. Third goal would probably see Matusiwa taken off. Long from Walton.
Was that a shot?
The ball landed on the edge of Kovacevic's area. And he now throws it out underarm to Darling. Norwich have got 10 minutes plus added on time to score a couple of goals. They'll lose twice in a season to Ipswich Town. It's the first time Town have completed a league double here, it would be, in 41 years. But the first time they've completed one anywhere in 33. First year of the Premier League season when Town beat Norwich twice. Cordoba caught by Nunez. Cordoba's gone down. Nunez says no. Free kick. The home fans are desperate for Nunez to get a second yellow card. It's a free kick to Norwich. He's not going to oblige, I don't think, Mr. Backhouse. But he's just got to watch himself, Nunez.
He didn't need to go down. He went down knowing it was Nunez that made the challenge.
Spot on. Totally agree. Kipre is coming on for Ipswich Town. Davis has gone down. That's not so clever. Greaves will go across to left back, obviously. Kipre, who scored the first of this season's 6 East Anglian derby goals. Yellow card for, is that Philippe Clement? He's now furious. Still in the face of the fourth official. Davis getting treatment as Town players come across. McKenna giving Jack Taylor a big old hug, which signals that maybe he might be about to make way. Dan Neil coming on, but of course there's a big question mark over Matusiwa's fitness as well. Anyway, it's going to be this double change by the looks of things. Kipre and Neil. 26,826 the attendance at Carrow Road. Not an empty seat amongst the away fans, obviously. Davis hobbling across to the near side. Kieran McKenna having a word with Marcelino Nunez.
It's a long chat, that.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
So long, I wondered whether he was explaining he might have to bring him off. I don't know.
Yeah, I did wonder about that.
It was pretty much saying, look, it was a very sort of pally sort of conversation.
It's like, I'm trusting you here. I'm not bringing you off. I'm trusting you to get your way through this game. And want him available for Fratton Park on Tuesday night. Full match commentary on BBC Radio Suffolk. Match night on air from 7:30. So Kipre and Neil, as mentioned, about to come on. Dan Neil, who scored against Norwich in the past for Sunderland. Headed in midfield by O'Shea. Athon, who missed that great chance to make it 3-0. Kieran McKenna patting Cedric Kipre on the back. Out of play on the far side, players back underway. It's a throw that Furlong will take. Leif Davis has jogged back onto the field. Now the referee has been communicated to and knows that Town will make these changes. So here come the changes. Nunez is indeed being taken off. Unbelievable scenes. You can imagine what the Norwich City fans are making of that. He's had his little cameo. Coming off, Kieran McKenna's worried about him, getting himself in trouble. He's applauding him, Kieran McKenna. He's going to be replaced by Dan Neil. And Cedric Kipre waits. What do you make of that decision, Mick Mills?
I think it's a good decision. I think he was brave enough to sort of put him on the pitch, to have him involved in the game. But hey, You know, he was able to have a really good chat, Kieran McKenna, to Nunes. So he was explaining what he's been forced into doing. We had Cordoba play acting, trying to get the poor lad sent off. Now that might happen again, and he might have gone off the pitch with it not being his fault at all. So you've got players on there who can replace him. Good decision.
Yep, it is. Off goes Davis. I like to see that. Proactive from Kieran McKenna. And on comes Kipre, so Greaves will go to left back. Hope that's nothing too bad in terms of Leith. As I say, Tuesday night on the horizon. Of course, even in the absence of Connor Townsend, we know that Town have got two good standing left backs, and either Greaves or Johnson. They have still got at least another 5.5 minutes. Well, we're going to have at least 10 minutes worth of football to go. Well, he came on and he went off, Marcelino Nunez. Throw on the far side from Furlong, headed away by Crescenni. The back header from Neil almost reaches Clark. In flies Fisher. Clipped forward by Magoma, dealt with by O'Shea. The header is back with Christian Walton. Ipswich Town heading back up to second in the championship table with 6 games to go. Clark closes down Kovacevic. He just gets it out to Cordoba. Cordoba digs out the long ball up towards Toure. Furlong gets the ball back to Walton. Needs to use his left boot to clear it away. One bounce into touch far side. Norwich throw. Matson gives it to Crescenni. Matson goes under the challenge of Taylor. Red 90 minutes for Jack Taylor in this game. Matson down through the centre circle to Darling. Norwich City have 4.5 minutes plus added on time to score 2 goals. Fisher back to Schwartau, the half-time change. All the noise coming from the tractor boys and girls. It's nice to hear at Carrow Road. Darling at the back for Norwich. Forward it goes. Greaves takes it on his chest. He's had an excellent game, Greaves. Crossfield he goes towards Johnson, who's done a good job. Nodded down by Crescenni, the left back, though. Ahmed playing in front of him. Ahmed comes in field. Little ball through the gap to Magoma, who can create. Magoma gives it to Schwartau inside the Ipswich Town area. In comes his cross towards the far post. Well dealt with by Furlong. Out to Magoma. Magoma just outside the area. Wants to take on Neil. Little ball to Ahmed, turns and shoots from the D. Excellent block from Kipre, immediately involved and to good effect. Out as far as Matson, in goes Athon. Matthew Seawer gives it to Taylor. Taylor tries to spin away from Cordoba, then goes down. Nothing other than a throw to Norwich far side. Cordoba, understandably, wants to take it quickly. Back it goes to Kenny McLean. Quite a grey, cold afternoon in Norfolk now. Lucky there for McLean, getting the ball through to Magoma. Magoma edge of the area up against Neil. No room for a shot yet. Neil stuck to the task. Magoma moves it to the left-hand side now. Crescenni out to the left. Ahmed tiptoed into the Ipswich area. On his right foot pulls it back to Magoma. Magoma still has the ball. Little ball into the box to Ahmed. Cross towards the far post. A chance maybe for Schwartau. No, he arrives too late. They can only hit the side netting.
Yeah, take your time, take stock. You know, this has been a little bit of pressure the last couple of minutes. You know, we've got to just get our minds back on the job.
It's a goal kick, or at least it will be. And Jacob Greaves gets up off the deck for Christian Walton. 2.5 minutes of normal time to go. 0800 141 2121. If you want to chat to Graham and Mick, we'll also hear from Kieran McKenna, the Ipswich Town manager, and Ipswich Town player as well, with a bit of luck. Text 81333. Start those messages. SFK. WhatsApp 08000 321 333. Also pop SFK at the start of those. Johnson off the field, a little bit winded, now back up on his feet, and play is back underway. Ipswich Town fans bouncing up and down over the far left corner. It's great to see. So little enjoyment here in recent seasons. 20 years since the last one here, to be precise. Cordoba, good crossfield ball. Greaves deals with it against Fisher. Clark on one of those runs that he loves. Gets up towards the halfway line, into the centre circle. Tries to play it through to Taylor. Taylor, the ball was always going away from him. Couldn't get onto it. Good run from Clark.
Good defending initially from Jacob Greaves, though. did well there. We defended really well, to be honest, today.
I was thinking that 90 seconds of the 90 minutes to go. McLean back to Darling. This kills off any faint chance, and they were very faint chance of Norwich reaching the top 6 this season, and a band of teams that know they're going to be back in the Championship next year. Let's hope we're not here in the league next season, though. Down the line, Fisher finding Schwartau, very much in Ipswich Town's hands. Fisher nudged off the ball by Clark. He was too lightweight. It's 2-on-2. Clark has the ball. Athon's running to his left. Athon has the ball. Can he get it back to Clark? Athon outside the area. Back come the yellow shirts. Cordoba takes it away from Athon and make the most of that half a chance. Approaching the final minute. Actually, we're in the final minute. Cordoba puts the ball in behind for Schwartau in the 90th minute. Schwartau inside the Ipswich Town area, goes square, takes a deflection, maybe a chance for Ahmed and the D. No, Ingo Taylor and Matusiwa. Neil is also there. It's a free kick to Norwich at the start of added on time. It's in a shooting position as well. The board is about to go up. It's going to have it 6 minutes on it. That's the number that just flashed up. It's not been confirmed yet, but it will be soon. Now, this is a chance for Norwich City. Haven't had many in this game. It's going to be right at the start of the added on 6 minutes at the end of this match. Ahmed and McLean are over this free kick. Around about 23, 24 yards from goal. It's a really central area. Darling just trying to get in the eye line of Walton at the moment. This added nuisance value. Ahmed and McLean over this free kick for Norwich City, trying to give them a much needed lifeline. This could be a massive moment in this East Anglian derby. It's Ahmed or McLean. 2-0 down Norwich. We're into added on time. It's going to be McLean who hits it into the wall. It did its job. Ball from the Scotsman. And as far as Ahmed, Town have got to hold on for 5.5 minutes. Johnson loses the ball. Matson knocks it into the Ipswich Town area. Plenty players back. Greaves with a good header away, or did all he could. Schwartau into the middle, headed away by Kipre. Out it goes as far as Fisher. Taylor's challenge gets the ball to Schwartau, wide right. Schwartau's cross comes off the backside of Greaves. Still doing excellent work out there, Greaves.
Yeah, good defending again.
Corner kick to Norwich City. Like the 14th of this game. All eyes on the penalty area off to our right hand side. Norwich trying to stay in this game. Schwartau with this corner kick for the home team. Town still 2-0 ahead in the second minute of the added on 6. Schwartau with the right-footed delivery into the box. It comes headed away by Matusiwa, controlled by Magoma. He crosses it back in. There's a free header. It's over the bar from Cordoba. First real chance, clear-cut chance really of the second half for the home team.
I think it's Norwich's biggest chance of the game. It's a bad miss. He's really dead central, a lot of space. He can just pick his spot and he's just put it over the crossbar. For a central defender, it's a very, very poor header.
Yeah, it was. Walton with this goal kick. If Norwich get something from this game, a fair number of their fans aren't going to be here to witness the drama. And they're leaving. Great seeing the Town fans jumping up and down, celebrating over the far side. This means so much to them. And edges them closer to an even bigger prize, potentially 3 weeks from now. Darling, his right foot. Furlong heads it square to the edge of his area, away from Kipre, out as far as McLean. Gives it to Ahmed. 2.5 minutes gone of the added on 6. Ahmed crosses into the centre, blocked away by Ipswich Town. Cresceni gives it to Matson. It's attack versus defence. Norwich have the ball. Matson finds Magoma. In goes Neil. Wins a good challenge. Neil's done excellently. He's given it to Clark. What can Town do on the break? How much do they want to do on the break? They want to waste some time down this left-hand side. Clark still has the ball. Runs into trouble with Darling. Fisher hasn't given it back to his keeper. Plays it down the line instead to Schwartau. Schwartau comes in field, running up towards the centre circle. Gives the ball away. Straight to Johnson. Free kick for a challenge on Schwartau. We've gone through 3 of the added on 6 minutes. McLean, left-footed forward, headed in field by Greaves, who's been terrific yet again for Ipswich Town. Forward from Walton, over the top of Athon. Norwich fans silenced. Crescenny loops the ball down the far touchline. O'Shea gets there first. Puts even more pressure on Middlesbrough against Portsmouth at 3 o'clock, still without Hayden Hackney, their best player. Massive question mark over him at Portman Road next Sunday even. Maatsen for Norwich, who are still showing plenty spirit, which of course should be a given in a derby. Maatsen in the centre circle, gives the ball to McLean, left-footed forward from McLean, over the top of Furlong. Ahmed, can he get in behind? Yes, he can. He's got the ball by the dead ball line, gets into the Ipswich area. Magoma wants it, Magoma gets it, and Magoma then gets right underneath it, and it's over the top.
Yep. So it's been the story of the game. Really, really good compact defending, giving the opposition very, very few chances. We've just picked them off basically, with the 2 goals before half-time, and we've just made sure they haven't come back at us.
Town's best players have been at the back. Greaves edging it over O'Shea, but they've done very, very well, and they really deserve this clean sheet. Furlong's had a good game as well. Davis coming back into the side. Kipre's just settled in there very well. Heading towards the final minute. Long from Walton, headed away by Cordoba. Nodded down by Neil in the centre, making a successful start to his East Anglian derby career. Again, it comes off Dan Neil, but Darling was somehow off the deck, able to get the ball away. Left-footed downfield from Crescenny, nodded by O'Shea to the halfway line. Matusiwa back to Kipre. Kipre finds Walton. Walton left-footed. 40 seconds to go. Athon with a nod down to Clark. Clark heads it to Cordoba. Kieran McKenna's thoughts to come on his latest East Anglian derby win, because that's what it's going to be. The TV cameras are heading towards the Ulsterman to see him celebrate in the next 20 seconds or so, as Greaves, immaculate as ever in the air, heads the ball back to Walton. For a matter of just 20 seconds to go, maybe not even that, as Walton launches the ball downfield through the grey Norwich sky. Athon after Crescenny. Crescenny clears, and there is the full-time whistle. Ipswich Town win at Carrow Road for the first time in 20 years. They complete their first East Anglian derby double over the old enemy for 33 years, and they climb up to second place in the championship table. This is a massive 3 points in every sense of the phrase. Kieran McKenna hugging Marcelino Nunez down below us, goes out there to shake hands with the Norwich City players as his players celebrate with the raucous away crowd.
Yeah, within no minutes at all you'll see a lot of orange seats, because the Norwich City supporters will just go home. They'll be devastated about this performance basically by their team, and obviously the right result. Our boys are going to stay there till as long as the police allow them to stay there. They've thoroughly enjoyed this performance, and quite rightly so. They've just taken one poor lad out, leave them alone, they're only enjoying themselves, and it's been a perfect performance. It really has. We knew it was going to be tough. We set out a team that lent a little bit towards a defensive performance. We gave that performance absolutely spot on. We really did. We had loads of people who warrant to be sort of possibly man of the match, and when you get a defensive performance like we had today, it's a shame you can't give it to a group, because it's all about a group. It's about a group of back four players. It really is. O'Shea was excellent from the word go. His passing was the one thing that I picked out early on. Jacob Greaves has been outstanding majority of the time as a centre back, for a part of the game as a left back. So our defensive performance has been excellent. We got a little bit lucky, I must admit, with the penalty. That set us on the way. It gave us a bit more inspiration if we needed it to come and get a result up here today. We picked them off with the second goal beautifully. We had missed one opportunity just before that, which could have gone in as well. So we've done everything right. The manager takes credit for me. He decided to not play First of all, his decision to play Ben Johnson was an excellent one. Play a fella that's totally and utterly in form and would add to the defensive side of the game. That was one excellent decision. The next one, he decided to be brave enough to put Núñez on, so he takes credit for that. And when he saw, you know, the Norwich players hell-bent on getting the poor lad in trouble, I mean, when Cordova went down to get him a second yellow card, Kieran had the opportunity, I think there was a Davis bit of treatment going on, he had the opportunity to speak to him at length, which he did, and he's obviously pre-warning him, listen, I've got no chance but I've got to bring you off because they're ganging up against you. Take it in the right way, take it in the right spirit, and all little things like that added to the result. And it's been, I tell you what, this has almost taken us over the line from promotion as far as I'm concerned.
I was going to ask you, this is a big 3 points, isn't it? Taking away the emotion, the rivalry, everything else, the way that Millwall drew last night puts enormous pressure on Middlesbrough later on. This is massive for Town, this one.
Yeah, no question at all, because whenever our supporters see this team the next time, and the next time the majority of them will see them, is the Middlesbrough game. You know, a massive game, as bigger than this one, if you like, if you can have one that's bigger than this. So the togetherness between team and supporters on that Middlesbrough day will be second to none. It really will. And it's that type of relationship that takes you over the edge, you know. So before today's game, I looked at 3 fixtures that we had to try to get as right as possible. This was one. Middlesbrough is the second one, and the one later on is Southampton away. We've taken care of the first one. This would take us, you know, we can go down to Portsmouth, and basically that's a bonus down there, but then we can get our teeth into the Middlesbrough game. And I tell you what, if we can do to Middlesbrough what we've done to Norwich today, well, we're over the line.
Big smile from Kieran McKenna as he walks back to the near side to start his media duties. The rest of his backroom staff and players understandably soaking up the adulation from the away thousands. It's been good watching on and seeing them celebrate with their fans, and as Mick said there, that connection is strong. That can be built on, that can make a difference over these remaining 6 games that Ipswich Town have got. None of them's going to be easy, but this is a big hurdle. They had the first comeback win for 2 years on Monday. They've backed that up with another one, which is just going to help that connection grow by coming here to Norwich. And yeah, it was great when they beat them 3-1 at Portman Road in October, but of course Norwich were a very different outfit then, but now they've come here, Norwich very much on song, and they've beaten them in their own backyard for the first time in 2 decades. The goals in the first half from Philogene from the penalty spot, and then George Hurst in first half added on time, and then an all-rounder terrific defensive display. This is an excellent and deserved clean sheet and a superb win for Ipswich Town at Carrow Road.